All right. Let's get started again. I apologize about the technical delay. Please let me know in the chat there that you guys can hear what is going on. We have had a little bit of not a mix-up, but it's just been, guys, it's been technical difficulties. So let me go ahead and try to rewind the script here if I can. Let me go ahead and pull up the chart if we can. Let me go ahead and click into the new scene. Let's make sure that we have some good degree of, and now we have a completely different chart, it looks like, which is fine. I'm going to work with this. I want you guys to get the very best of what we've got going on. We're going to look over at Dogecoin tonight, and I want you guys to go ahead and just enjoy Dogecoin, and let's do the best we can with the tech right now. I want to get into the kind of the details of the analytics here. It's going to be a little bit of a different. I just went live with what we had to make sure that we went ahead and brought you kind of the latest of what you need. Last night's update was crucial, guys. It was very crucial. You were able essentially to achieve, guys, some I'd say you were able to preserve a great deal of capital, without a doubt. We went over the triangulations last night, and essentially, guys, all of that worked out exactly the way it should have. Looks like we have a shout-out chat. I appreciate that. Let's look at exactly what that is. I appreciate the live chat. That's very nice. David Sweet, I appreciate that. Just a little shout out, little banana. That's nice, little banana. We need some humor, so I appreciate that. That's funny. So guys, as we look at last night, we went through the triangulations. We went into detail. As you guys know, we cover technical analysis. I have the screen maximized right now. We can go through and I can adjust that real quickly, try and throw that in the background. We do have just, it's a technical setup. As you guys understand this, the technical nature of Streamlabs, etc. is just highly technical. So sometimes glitches happen. You can watch me just build this. This is just technically, kind of technically oriented information. It's not just the technical analysis, but I have like 3 or 4 major major inputs here that I'm able to kind of diagnostically look at the same time. So I may have 7 or 8 screens at the same time that I'm comparing in the background, etc. that's going on. So sometimes things get a little bit crossways. We are probably more technical than the average person. So as we look at, then the group is a lot more technical than the average person. So not good, not bad, just kind of the way things are. So as we look at, let's dig into the charts. Let's look at Dogecoin again, guys. Let's check out essentially like last night, guys. I was very, very excited today while the price was going down. I was, and guys, shout out to David Sweet. I appreciate the energy up front because it helps. It just honestly helps. We're in a lot of, we're in a lot of time, right? Everyone's like, we're spending a lot of time going through technicals. So it helps to get something from you guys. Lets me know you're doing well and everything else. Dogecoin looks like it's in a triangulation. After a triangulation, it's just consolidation after consolidation. The question, can we achieve something to the upside? That would be phenomenal. The entirety of the markets, all of the markets are going through a phenomenal retracement, okay, to say the least. The word crash comes to mind. A lot of you have played those crashes well. You have gone ahead where other people are just flailing and achieving losses. Unfortunately, you guys are actually achieving gains. So it's nice to see. Go ahead and hit the let's smash the like button. Let's go ahead and get some of those. Yeah, I appreciate that, Amor. Good to see you, Amor. We have good news, guys, from Amor. And hey, David, let's shout out in the super chat. Let's just we'll say hello, spend some time to say hello to Amor Fati. He's a VIP member, and it's my understanding that Amor is now expecting a new child. So that's the good news. Amor, you're expecting a new child. Fantastic. Very, very exciting. We are happy to hear that. We also heard from Jason's Lit, our military guy who... one of our military guys, and he is also expecting a child. So we have 2 members of the VIP who are, guys, what great news, huh? I mean, that's just phenomenal that 2 of the members of our VIP are expecting kiddos. So we were happy to hear that today. That just kind of made the day. I'll just tell you that much in terms of the market, etc. Shout out to Amor, and shout out definitely to Jason's Lit, just a strong military guy. I understand Jason's actually in the process of teaching some of the technical analysis to some of his military guys. So I think he's training them in terms of, I won't go into the details, what he's training them, not just technical analysis, but what all he is doing. That's probably some classified military stuff, or at least that's his business. But I do want to bring up the fact that a lot of you guys are furthering your understanding and your knowledge of technical analysis. How wonderful. I know, what do we have? We're going to have like half a dozen members of the VIP that are going to get certified by the New York Institute of Finance in digital cryptos, guys, and digital assets. What a phenomenal deal. That can just kind of like, I mean, at some point, that's really phenomenal. I heard some additional people, today that said yes, they were going to go ahead and get. Some people are studying right now, have already signed up, etc. It's just that's phenomenal, guys. I'm honored to be around you. You're that type of motivated group, and I know that you get all of this, and by all of this, I mean all of the technicals. You guys are the right crowd to be in this group, so it's phenomenal to be a part of it. I appreciate the opportunity to bring you guys this continual information. And let's just talk about what is the success since last night. The success is the following. As we look at, let's go ahead and draw out, let's just draw kind of the trend as we saw this. Last night we talked about the fact that this was a continuation pattern. Yes, you guys remember that. Absolutely. This triangulation on Dogecoin. Right? As we ended the stream, it started to kind of I'd say break out or break down. Now, we saw a big breakdown today. It was kind of a mean breakdown in the market, right? Yeah, it was a pretty mean breakdown, 20 and 30%, etc. A lot of things down. Some were even down 40%. What is the good news? The good news is that last night we spent hours. I spent hours with you guys. I was happy to do it, but I spent hours going over the fact that this was going to break down. What happened today? The entirety of the market broke down 20, 30, some of them 40%. You were prepared. The people who listened to this stream last night, you were prepared. So that's a big step forward, guys, in terms of looking at the information that you're able to synthesize. It may not always be comfortable. A lot of us are pushing into kind of realms, different ideas, we're stretching our mindset in terms of, normally we just think of, well, I want to invest in that, I'll go ahead and invest in it. We're talking about like triangulated, literally, guys, we're talking about triangulated technical formations, which are continuation patterns, and we're expecting them to break support lines and reconfirm on resistance. I mean, come on, this is kind of sophisticated material. This is not just, this is not just open a book and leisure learning on a Saturday. This is really, some sophisticated stuff. So the fact that you're able to internalize this information, that you're able to, I'd say act upon it and make decisions, it's phenomenal. So and I know that you're the type, you're literally taking courses. And those of you in Basecamp, anyone who wants to take that course as well, I can get you that information. Just hit me up in the Twitter or something like that. So as we look at, looks like I need to move one thing over here in the stream. Let me get over here. There we go. Looks like on that bottom right, we were covering up the Twitter just a bit. Looks like that's more in line. So as we look at this, if people in Basecamp would like to learn, okay, if you want to learn New York Institute of Finance, what is a digital asset? Well, there are members of the VIP right now that are literally cranking through a certification course in probably the most famous, I'd say the most go-to, the go-to resource for Wall Street, which is the New York Institute of Finance. Does that mean they work on Wall Street now? No, not at all. But that's a very well-respected credential that they're getting in digital assets. That's the type of group that the VIP is. You can see the counter. I think we have 84 so far, 84 VIP members. That's the way we like it, guys. We're happy. It's been, 10, 15 days that we have been accepting kind of VIPs and Basecamp. Some of you in Basecamp may be thinking about kind of stepping up. It was kind of crucial today, I'll state, definitely we talk about pricing targets all the time. We spend ample amounts of time. I'll just tell you this, guys. I spend ample amounts of time trying to get through live streams and feeds amidst slow-moving price action a lot of times, and try and get down the critical moments, such as this breakdown today. And when this breakdown, when it occurred, you guys knew that it occurred, and you knew that we had covered this last night. You knew. I mean, it wasn't a question at all that, and I just didn't sit there and think, the VIPs are just sitting there getting hammered. Absolutely not. I knew for a fact you had, and guys, you Basecamp too, to a degree that you were able to listen, et cetera. We have additional communication VIP, but we brought all this information to everybody's subscribers as well. right? Just anyone who was kind of around, and it was a tight group. We keep a pretty tight group here, but I look at the algorithms. You guys, smash the like button because this is kind of important information. At some point, I need to get that confirmation from you guys at some point, like coming through here, like we spend time going over what's about to happen in the market. And we're right on with it, guys. It's not like, well, maybe 10% of the time we're right. No, we're on it, guys. We are on this. When this went down 20 to 30% today, I was just like, I'm not worried about the VIPs at all, literally at all. Why? Because we had talked about it for hours. Then thereafter, we reinforced it in the private chat groups, etc. And it was just, I know you guys have heavyweight cash to the downside. I just know you do. I know you're not over leveraged on the top end. I just know you're not. I know you're looking towards the golden pocket. I know you're doing your own Fibonacci's. I know that, that's the dynamic of the group, is that we're not going to sit through and have a 50% loss in the value of our book. It's just not going to happen. So it's very nice to be able to, see the names pop up here, like Joshua, like Amor, like David, Lars, the entirety of the group, because I know that you have a very good chance at doing well in the market. I'll just tell you that. And I appreciate that, because not everyone does. I'll talk with people who just, they frustrate the whole process. They don't want to learn. It's like, they're not willing to put any time or effort into their learning. Is it easy? I mean, come on. Is it really easy? No, not at all. Can it become easier? Absolutely. Absolutely, it can become easier. And, that's one thing. As time does go on in this process, we know it'll become easier. We know that you'll become essentially better at what you're doing, and I'll become better at what I'm doing in terms of this show. Huh? I mean, you have to admit it's a very big, transition getting into, something where we have a live, kind of a live chat. We have a live stream. We have live technicals, price action, movements. Getting through all the kind of, from an education standpoint, it's not advice, you guys know that, but from an education standpoint, it's like we have to be able to kind of keep up with the crowd, you guys have to keep up with me, I have to keep up with you. It's a big dynamic. So as we're throwing this together, we do have very good plans for the future. And I think that's going to be an exciting thing as we look at, kind of how to bring you better content. We've been able to do that kind of in the back rooms better. I'm working on something for the base camp, and I'd like, community leader, Miss Ruiz, if you would like to come up with something, that'd be great. Like, what can base camp do? We have, they have a badge, they belong. That's my big deal. It's like they're here, they have a badge. Like, I like that, people here with a badge. It kind of lets me know that they kind of belong. And yeah, Bond is saying, like, hit the like button, right? It would be nice. I'd like to get to 100 likes. We don't have a whole lot of people, but I know we have a lot of base camp, and a lot of VIPs are just too lazy to smash it. Just hit it. Like, I gotta tell you, like, I'm just, I don't know what the YouTube algorithm is. And maybe the style and the technicals, etc. Maybe I'm a little bit rough for people. Maybe they don't like it. I attract kind of a military crowd. I've noticed that. I mean, even the girls are like, this is, PsyOps 101. I'm like, you're a professional, like either a financial analyst or whoever she may be, whatever member it is. I think we just kind of attract kind of a tough crowd. I don't know why it is, but at the same time, I know the information is very, very important, because I know that we're right. A lot of times we're technically sound. When I saw this pour out today, I'm like, well, I'm just sitting there. I'm like, this is fantastic. It's going to hit the targets for the VIPs. And so that's nice. But, I look at some of the, how many people have viewed the video, et cetera. Sometimes I'll gauge the whole group by it. I'll be tempted to do that. I'm like, I should never do that. That's ridiculous, because I know we're 100% right. No one else is getting there are a few groups out there that like to work with patterns, etc. Some of them are reading out of books. Some of them have a mass following, decent programming, I say logo making, etc. But, I don't hear the real strategy behind, like, double or triple down, heavyweight money towards the downside. I don't hear the complete picture from them. I hear, okay, they've looked at a resource book. They've started to do, kind of talking about a triangulation, talking about options, whatever it may be. I don't see the entirety of the picture where their traders can really survive. I just don't see that. So Yeah, that's one of the things that I know that we have, and we have kind of the technical approach. We have the in terms of the pattern formation, we have the Fibonacci's as well, and we have that overall group dynamic where you guys understand not to be involved too heavily at the higher levels. No one else is going through that. Everyone else has this tagline: just don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Okay, that's kind of, everyone gets that, but then they still invest too much, right? So the way that I look at this is, no, we have kind of a complete picture. We're kind of offering the complete package, not in terms of, the instructional 101, what you must do, or financial advice. No, just kind of what makes computational sense, what makes mathematical sense. If we're sitting here and we want to continue to trade 6 months from now, a year from now, to still be in the market, if it goes down, awesome. Why? Because we can pick up more at a lower price. What's that going to require? That we have reserve cash, that we not be fully what would you say, exposed, that we not be fully exposed at anything which could turn out to be a higher price. So that requires kind of a measured, I'd say, a measured kind of diligence that we use in terms of everyone wants to be fully invested. It's always nice, that's always nice to have complete exposure, except when it goes down. So it takes a lot of discipline to understand that right now the price could go down. It could go up. If you had a 50-50 shot of it going down or up, I think you should maybe plan for my opinion is maybe you should plan for the contingency that it could go down, and also for the fact that it could go up. Right? I would think both of those, each possibility brings to the forefront a wonderful scenario, right? Because if it goes down, you can buy more. If it goes up, you're going to make some money. So it's real simple. Neither one of them is bad. If it goes down, well, you get a better price. You can buy more. If it goes up, well, you made some money. But you don't have to leverage your entire position right now to where if it goes up, you make all that much more money. But if it goes down, you're stuck. And that's the worst thing that I see, guys. The absolute worst thing. Now, what's the solution to that? What is kind of the strategy around that? We've gone through it a lot. Essentially, it is, let's say, if we're looking at this most recent price action, this frequency, just the most recent period of the price action, this move from to the upside, just from kind of the initiation of the move to the upside, this most recent kind of price action, frequency, pulse, whatever you want to refer to. Technically, it's kind of a pulse in the price. That's what they would call it, pulse. I'm sorry, or a period, kind of a periodic. Period is a time frame, kind of a frequency period. There's a lot of different names that you could use for it. You guys can review that in your technical kind of manuals or whatnot you have. Decide upon your own favorite. This interval is another one that you may use, a pricing interval, okay? And kind of the micro interval is maybe the best way we can state that. A lot of different options in terms of how you describe this. But as we look at this micro interval, okay, we have options in terms of accumulation. We can accumulate based upon this Fibonacci. We know that. It's just a pricing tool. Immediately we have a pricing tool. We schedule more cash on the downside. Very easy. Now we can do that. Now what happens if it breaks down from there? Well, we need to make sure we have reserve cash. If it doesn't pick up in this frequency, in the micro frequency, we need to make sure we have reserve cash to hit the other levels below. On the aggregate, this is the micro kind of frequency. The aggregate, okay, is the large zoomed out kind of picture. On the aggregate, we can adjust this. I've done a template for it. So on the aggregate, look, guys, all of a sudden we have a huge kind of a zoomed out picture. We're able to say, okay, great. Now I know we have more pricing targets, right? More pricing targets than we had before. So what we can do is eliminate that. Let's say somehow if you wanted a stop loss, you wanted to hold, whatever you wanted to do with that amount of money. But now you have the opportunity, if you fall through to the next level, to acquire more at a cheaper price, right? So if you fall through, what's the good news? If you've invested just a little bit during this area, well, you're about to pick up more coins at this next price target at a better price. So the strategy requires you to have additional cash outside of this present moment if invested. It requires you, in order to, guys, mathematically, statistically, to solve the equation of what do you do about your exposure right now in Dogecoin, how do you capitalize on a lower price? The good traders know this. Well, you're not fully invested right now. Okay? Not to say that you're not heavily invested, not to say you're not enjoying the price action, not to say you're not a big holder and a big fan. A big fan may be waiting right here at the next level down as a bull to go charge in at this next level when no one else is able to. Everyone thinks, well, the holders, they're the ones that keep the market going. Really? Because if people have serious cash to throw in right here, if there is a break, those might be some of the strongest people in the market. I'm just going to tell you, if there's big money, if there's reserves waiting at this next level down, that might be one of the most important components of the market. Okay, so that's important as we look at kind of the psychology of the market. Well, we have holders, right? We do have holders. Well, we also have people who are ready to hammer in at this next level down. Okay, right now we have held right along this 50 ballpark, guys, around the 50% retracement. Okay, that's what we're just stuck on right now. That's okay. There's nothing kind of we've danced around with different levels at different times. Okay, so we're just stuck on a Fibonacci right now. We've been looking at Bitcoin a bit, a touch at Bitcoin. It is also, guys, you can trade the micro. Okay, it's trading the micro. Look at this. Bitcoin hit the 78.6, essentially, more or less. Okay, 78.6, just a touch past. What did Dogecoin do? It did the same thing. It retraced exactly to the 78.6. So those are almost perfectly correlated. Okay, over the last 24 hours, we could talk about either one of them. Okay, so the story is the same. There has been a rise in price. Okay. Let me get this out. There's been a rise in price, and there has been a retracement to the 78.6. Right? We've had a rise, an initiation, a rise in price. We have a retracement to the 78.6. That's Dogecoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. Okay? Now we have a rise in price, and we have a retracement to the 78.6. It's the same exact story. All right? So that is crucial as we understand, the nature of the Fibonacci. It works across the board. You're not going to hand me, I just highly doubt you're going to hand me anything unless it's a complete aberration. There's something fundamentally flawed with its existence in the market. You're not going to show me anything, or you're not going to see anything that doesn't comport with the Fibonacci's, that doesn't have some investment level kind of approach to it. So when we talk about on the micro level, yes, investing at this micro level, and people did. I can affirmatively, I can confirm that they did. Why? Because there's price action right here. So people came in and they moved in at this level. There were trades that occurred at this level, right? So it occurs both on the micro and it occurs on the overall macro. All right? The macro is the big picture. The micro is kind of the small, detailed, magnified glass. Okay, we got the magnifying glass out. Right? So those, that implies, because you're both on the micro and the macro, that you need to have some reserves able to deploy for these lower levels. Now, why? Is it just to decrease your cost? I'm going to tell you, when it hits these different levels, typically there'll be support, lines of support, which means it will increase in price. Typically, like 80 to 90% typically, guys, at these lower levels. What does that mean? They're going to turn into positive trades for you. They're going to turn into money-making opportunities, most likely for you. Not financial advice. Go. If you talk to your broker, if you are a broker, you'll know that for a fact, right? You'll know for a fact. Last night we spent so much time, guys, talking about the fact, this triangulation, right? We spoke about it. And I don't think people like to hear it. I'll just tell you that much. People don't like to hear what's going to happen to the price if it's going to go down. I can sit there and talk to 100,000 Dogecoin people and tell them technically what's going to happen to the price, and they will tune out. They do not want to hear it. They don't like it if you talk to them technically what's going to happen to the price, even if it means saving them money. They will tune out. They will leave, even if it means saving them money. Now, the crowd that's here that understands why we're here, to participate in the market in a rational way, the VIPs, the base campers, okay, the other members that we have, the real subscribers, you understand we don't have the luxury of, we don't have the luxury of saying, well, I don't care for the fact that I might lose money. I don't care for the overall, the overall imagery given here that it's a negative sentiment. No, we focus on technicals. We focus on the fact this is a continuation pattern for multiple hours last night. When this pours down 20 or 30%, it's very important to me that I'm not a part of that, because I spent hours last night going over that. We all did. And so I don't have the luxury of just saying, well, I feel like being kind of comfortable today. I don't like the fact that someone's talking about technically the price is going to go down. That's not why I'm in the market, is to be comfortable and to like, it's not, what the heck? I don't understand that. I understand that people have, kind of a preference that we talk about things going up. Why would people not want to guys, to guard their position and not lose money? Why? Yeah, for the world, for the world, I would not understand that. It doesn't make any sense to me. So maybe that's part of the hype. Maybe that's part of the, the fact that this is all some war that has gone on and I'm not being critical of things, but when people don't want to listen to the technicals involved, and maybe it's not for everybody, but I'll just tell you, when it's a widely accepted part of trading, a widely accepted part of the stock market and price action, I cannot fathom why people would want to lose money. I just can't fathom it. I can't fathom why people would want to lose, 60 to 70 to 80% of the value of their holdings. Maybe they're not heavily invested. For people who are heavily invested, I cannot fathom. I cannot fathom why other channels they would sit there and just talk about, just holding. And just, you throw the caution to the wind. Just forget about it, throw the caution into the wind. That's not what I do. I'm just going to tell you, I'm not going to receive any kind of pressure from people to go ahead and change my opinions, anything like that. If I see a negative pattern, if I see a continuation pattern like last night, I'm going to call it exactly like I see it. When you guys saw the market pour out 20 or 30% today, right? On this channel, what we talked about for hours last night was the fact that was going to happen, period. So you're in the exclusive minority of people who understand what's important in the market, okay? Not experiencing a 30% drop. And I'll tell you guys, the problem with that is, you just experienced a 20 or 30% drop. Right? So when you start adding a 20, and people will say, well, you'll believe, well, it's only a 20 or 30% drop today, right? We'll make it up. And then let's say the next day it's up kind of 15. Then you'll have another 20 or 30% down day, right? And no one's achieving any pricing targets. No one's looking at kind of, any way to make money in a down market. That is not how I roll. I'm just going to tell you, that is not how I was, how I kind of formulated an education in the markets, is to sit there and just watch, 20% down today. Oh, okay. 20% down tomorrow. Okay. The next day we're up 10. Oh, that's a good day. So we had one good day amidst two, down days. No, guys, on the aggregate, as you lose compounding levels of your value, it becomes extraordinarily high to recover it. It becomes extraordinarily difficult, let's say, to recover that. The percentage that you need to recover, say, a 50% drop, what is it? Is it just 50%? No. If you lose 50% of the value of your holdings, you have to make 100% to recover it. Okay, so as we look at this, yes, it can pump. Yes, it can have. We can have a great, we could have a great 2-3 weeks and make up all this. We could have a great 4 or 5 days and make up all this. Okay, if it's technically implied, we can do that. If it's not technically implied, I'm not going to say that we're going to do that. If it's not the demand in the marketplace, we're not going to do that. For that to occur, we need to achieve a reversal. Okay, it's not looking right now like we have reversed. Okay, we have touched down, not the one time, not the second time, but the third time, and almost, I mean, yeah, at least the third time, guys, on the same level of the Fibonacci. That's looking like it wants to move down. Okay, I'm just saying that. It's looking like it wants to move down to the next level. It's just, guys, it's a lower level. And before you talk about going from 75 cents to 23 cents, which no one likes. No one wants to talk about that. What's the next level below that? I just want to talk about it. What's the next level below the 23 cents? Ballpark 10 cents. Okay, before you go for, I'm just going to state, before you were to go, if you were to go, okay, if you were to go from 75 cents to 10 cents, okay, that's a pretty hefty move. Do you have any strategy? I'm just curious. Do you have any strategy? If not, that's fine. We can develop one. Do you have any strategy for losing 85% of your money? Is there any way to combat that? Yes. Yes, there is. There's a way to not let that happen, even if it happens in the price action. Why is that important? Because some people have hundreds of thousands of dollars in Dogecoin. Some people have tens of thousands of dollars in Dogecoin. So if you're going to experience an 85% drop in tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and there's a way to prevent that, I sure would like to discuss that because I think it's beneficial. Okay, it's not on the hype train. Okay, we're not signing up for the miracle day every day. Right? We're not discussing, every day how it's going to the moon. We're not doing that, guys. We're having realistic discussions based on technicals, based on what's occurring in the price. Like yesterday, people wanted to hear or not the fact this is a negative. People wanted to argue, no, it's ascending, it's bullish. It's really, I pointed out 50 different triangulations that were continuation patterns. What happened? We broke down. Not that I'm always right. Technically, that's what's implied. Technically, that's the probability there, right? So I have to speak on the aggregate in terms of technicals in line with my education. I have to talk about things as you look at, well, it's a big deal if you're going to lose another 10, 15% today or 20% today. Why? Because there are levels below that you can capitalize on, that you can use as pricing targets, and you can make some money. In spite of the fact it's going down. You could have made money at this 38.2, a nice amount of money, multiple times. You could have made money at the 38.2. You could have made money at this, let's say at the 50% retracement, right? Very easily. You could have made money 1 time, 2 times. You could have made money at that trade level. Okay, so what's going to happen if we do decide to go, if it's tired of this level, okay, if it's tired of this level, the 50%, it cannot hold the 50%. Now, maybe it can. Maybe Elon comes out and everything is great. Now, I'm sure he has a very good team on this. Okay, I love his new ride. That new little hotshot Tesla, 0 to 60 in 1.1 second. Are you kidding me? That's a nice car, huh? Very nice ride. Very impressive, huh? They need to accept Dogecoin, huh? They definitely need to accept Dogecoin for a 0 to 60 in 1.1 seconds. Like, hello, nice ride. Love that new Tesla. Really liking it. I hope they accept Dogecoin. So as we look at this, understand when I see a continuation pattern, right? When I see that, I'm going to bring out the fact that it's going to continue down. When I then see the market pour out 20% and 30% and everything light up awfully red, what have I been saying? Light exposure at the top, ability to double and triple down at every lower level. That's tripling down the amount that you have invested at the next level, okay? Tripling that down at the next level, which it keeps you very lightly involved. Your trades become, well, how'd the trade go today? Well, it was okay. We're kind of, I understand you're lightly involved. It's not, you're not leveraging the house, or, the amount, the people who trade, who have $1 million, available to trade, they wind up trading with like $10,000, $25,000. Right? They just have some fun. The people who have like $25,000, they trade with like 8 to 15 sometimes. Or 20. So that's when your money gets eaten up. That's when it's very difficult. Always have, Okay, not financial advice, just logic. If you do the mathematics, always have double or triple down, and then again, double or triple down that amount down here. Why? Because otherwise you can't even trade that level. Otherwise, it's impossible for you to make money, right? Okay, and I bring that up. And we say, well, I'll make money if it goes up. Okay, say that's a 50-50 shot. That's great, but I don't want people to take a 50-50 shot on not winning, like on not making money, on having a bad experience in the market. What's the fun in that? I want to be around people who, even if it goes down, they have this awesome story, like some people had today, like we've had recently, when the market's completely down. Wow, and you made 50% on a trade during that? That is phenomenal. That's the magic of the market, right? Those are people who literally, look at things, and you talk to people like that. If you look at the people around, like if I ever have a discussion, I tell them to someone, I say, yes, during a down market, we actually make money. That's when you see them just kind of take a step back and they're like, how are you making money? Then they think you're involved in options or something like that. Then you have to explain to them a pricing target. What is a pricing target? It is a level of support. Okay, what's the definition of a support? Essentially, it's something that's going to get contacted and you're going to achieve some positive price. So it's a great area to go ahead and invest in, right? So that's very exciting, okay? That's very, very exciting. And that's what we focus on, is having deployable cash that we can literally just hammer on. Guys, it's going to be on a limit order, right? These figures that are given to us by the Fibonacci's, they're given to us for a reason, because those are essentially very well respected levels in the markets, not just crypto, in stocks, in the entirety of the NASDAQ. Okay, so that's important for us to have limited exposure. Now you want maybe some exposure, right? Some exposure is okay. There's no problem with that. As you determine your level of exposure, that's going to be a personal question for you to determine. I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm here to maybe help you do some mathematics, help you do some statistics and probabilities. Like, I'm good at math. I think a lot of you guys are as well. So what's the probability if this goes down, if you're fully invested in it? Let's just talk about it. Now, if it goes up, we'll talk about it as well. Let's do both sides of the coin. If it goes down, if you're fully invested in it, okay, fully. If it goes down and you hit this level and it goes up, let's say 10% here, just like 10% right up in here, but you've already lost, let's say 20%. Is there any possibility that you can make money from this 10% gain, the movement to the upside here? I mean, on the aggregate, because you've dropped down, you're fully invested, right? And you drop down, let's say you drop down, ballpark, let's say you drop down 20%, right? And then you hit up for like 10%. Is there any possibility, any chance whatsoever that you can make money, a net profit on the entirety of that move? No. There is zero possibility, right? Zero possibility. You understand that? If you're fully invested at around this 50% retracement, around the 33% or the 33 cents, right? If you're fully invested at this level and you move down, let's just say the figures, you move down 20%. Let's say a market maker decides to go down and pick up these orders at 23 cents, right? Let's just say he does. Okay. You move down 20%. Let's just say it's 20% as for the example. And let's say you hit this, it's a support, and you go up 10%. You go up 10%. Is there any possible way, can you figure it out to where you would make money, you would make a net profit, dropping 20% and going up just 10% if you were fully invested? The answer is no. It's mathematically impossible. Now, if you know, let's go to the hypothetical. Let's change the scenario here. If you know for a fact, or let's say based on a reasonable degree of probability, let's say that. As a fact, Fibonacci's are used. As a fact, they normally hit, all right? You see them hit here, you see them hit here. They've hit at every level thus far, guys. It's very standard, okay? We just focus on probabilities. We just focus on calculations, statistics, trying to give everybody the best advantage they have. If you have a different strategy, we'd love to hear it. I mean, we have VIPs that have all kinds of strategies. I'd love to hear that all the time. So the alternative to not being fully invested would be to be partially invested. Now, we know that there's not a circumstance, and we're playing this out, guys. If you drop 20%, okay, and you made up 10%, let's say 10% during that process, if you're fully invested, there's no way for you to profit. I mean, as a matter of absolute calculative fact, you are going to lose money. So looking at this, if you're not fully invested, and I mean, you're allowed to have some chips, definitely, in the context of the equation, and not that you have to or you should, but within the calculations, there's a tolerance for you being invested up here. The only thing that's going to be required from a mathematical standpoint, just calculating this, guys, just probability statistics, mathematical, okay, computationally, is that 10% that you would go to the upside, that amount have a greater amount of cash in it. That's the only thing that's required. And then, yeah, you can make money, even if it breaks down from the stop level. Then it's simple. It's just a matter of mathematics. It's literally just a matter of figuring in how much additional cash you would need at the lower level to take advantage of a 10% move to capitalize, or let's say to outweigh your upside risk. You see how easy that is? Now, it's not a personal thing. You don't like Dogecoin or you like Dogecoin. It's not anything about that. It's that you want to make sure you make money if you're invested in Dogecoin. Now, what's the problem with that? I cannot foresee any problem with someone saying, I'm going to invest in Dogecoin. I want to make sure I make money. Wow. Everyone wants that, but they want it to go up to $1. They want all these different things. That's great. Right now, we're in an overall, I would say, like, tragically induced, Bitcoin-led, like, purge, unfortunately, of the market. Bitcoin has gone through some interesting things. I would not have wished that on anybody in terms of the way things have played out right now with Bitcoin. I just wouldn't have. It's been very frustrated. I don't know the degree to which it's been artificially frustrated, whether or not this has been kind of a manufactured, kind of onslaught against people with the serious interest in Bitcoin. I know Elon had serious interest in Bitcoin. He's a big player. And it seems like some of the news that's come out has been a little bit odd, guys. With, these directed, let's say this, the directed kind of force and effect of, the recent Communist China news. I don't watch the Communist China News Network. I have heard that they have come out with, again, they're going to, the assault on the market, et cetera. They're going to ban, and you guys can confirm this or not, they're going to ban, again, Bitcoin. Now, that's discussed all the time. How much of it's propaganda? It certainly is an inconvenient time to go ahead and just pour that on, right? It's just, and I don't want to say that it's directed at Elon, but I know that he's received a lot of heat for a lot of different things. And it's just interesting to watch kind of the business environment, if we just want to call it that, but he just seems to be, I don't know. I don't want to say he's targeted, but I know there are people that don't like him. I'll just say that. And I know that he's heavily invested in it. He continues to impress in spite of whatever friction he receives. So that is nice to see that, that he is he's a mainstay. He continues. I don't like that. It just feels manufactured to me. And I just want to go on kind of record with you guys. It feels manufactured. And now we have, yesterday it's this news of the, where I wonder, like, what is he getting in terms of news? Who is feeding him information? And now it's China today that is coming out with the fact that maybe Bitcoin is banned again. Well, it just seems manufactured. It seems like a propaganda machine is kind of taking hold of a really good guy, in terms of Elon and what he's trying to accomplish. And I just hope it's not a real, I hope it's not like a real political. I hope it's not political, guys. I try and stay really, really non-political. I really do, because I think there's better things to do than argue about politics. I think that there's better things for us to do than argue about that kind of stuff. So, as we go back to something else, I'm just talking about kind of the grievous nature of the fall, of how I feel like, things just seem like they're very much, on the, it seems like the people are kind of on the attack right now against Bitcoin. I know Elon is a primary holder. A lot of you guys are being affected by that. It's not fair at all. What can we do to mitigate it? We can mitigate it with the proper approach, okay, to the technicals, by knowing that something's going to fall out. Right? Yeah, by knowing that something's going to fall out. easily, yeah. No problem, right? That's just, let's focus on technical analysis. Let's focus on some of the principles that have guided traders for a long time. Yeah, it's really easy. Technical analysis, Fibonacci's, we used to calculate them by hand. Now we have nice little tools to do it immediately, right? So this is like the strategy. You just have to do it. If you do it, if you calculate it, I always tell people, do your own calculations, because if you calculate it out, you'll make money. You'll do what you need to do, right? You'll just do what you need to do, and you'll do those calculations and be like, okay, wait, if I establish a downside position, I'm going to increase my number of coins, and I'm going to lower my cost. And if there's a move to the upside on that, I stand to make more money than at a higher price even. Guys, if you take the same movement, okay, let's just do this. The same movement, let's say at, let's do this, the same movement up at 10 cents. Let's just measure this real quickly so you understand kind of a basic part of the theory here. The same movement at 10% is around 61%, that the same movement in and around 35 cents is 20%. All right? So when you're looking at getting more coins down below, the same movement would be, say, 60% versus like 20% or 50, maybe even higher, like 15%. Do you see how much it behooves you to stack your cash on the lower levels? The movements at the lower levels are bigger percentages for your money. You're always looking for that 20 or 30 or 40% hit. You're always looking for that 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x. At a lower price, the same movement gives you a higher overall return on your money, on your investment. It's a bigger move. As we look at, like, say, this move down here, this was a big move on this triangulation, okay? Move to the downside, upside. Let's just measure it. 65%. Nice move, huh? That was maybe to the downside. Let's just talk about the price action. And here, there's a nice move back up. Let's look at the price action. If we drop that down to the 78.6, let's measure that real quickly. At the 78.6, you're looking at, wow, you're looking at 190%. Wow. 190% versus 60%? I sure would want to take advantage of, like, the possibility for the 190%. How would I do that? I deploy cash at lower levels. I'm still involved. Like, I still want to be involved. I still enjoy the price action on a perfect, I say on a perfect pattern breakout here in this bull pennant. Absolutely. That was a nice move to the upside. Everybody enjoyed that. I mean, everybody played that, I'd say, relatively heavily. Right? If you guys want to hear about technicals, hit the like button. Or if you just showed up and you haven't been here since the beginning, hit the like button. I'll be able to know who has just recently showed up, who may have not heard kind of the original recap. That will help me in terms of what to rediscuss or not. I hope you guys are doing well. And yeah, I'm glad last night we covered this continuation pattern. Key feature, because today things poured out heavily in the markets. Heavily. You guys saw that. What did we cover last night? Case lows. We covered the continuation pattern, likelihood it's moving to the downside. Everyone who tuned in was prepared. Everyone. Meaning what? Meaning you didn't have to lose 20 or 30 or 40% of your holdings. Guys, that's turning $100,000 into $80,000 or $70,000 or $60,000. That's a big move, right? That's a big move. That's a lot of money lost. It's difficult to survive in the market when you have losses like that. When you have a day that's down 20 or 30, another day that's down 20 or 30. We can run on what would you say, on kind of hopes and dreams. We can do that. We can also, what I'm saying, we can be involved in supporting the price, definitely, right? We can definitely be a huge fan of Dogecoin. We can want it to go up and reverse. We can be the biggest member of the army, and want all that, and also have cash ready to deploy at the lower levels, right? That's the key function of profit. Please take into that consideration that just, guys, this same move, look at this same move. If you were to apply this same move right here, okay, let's look at it at this around the 50. Let's just look at it the preceding kind of higher level, 46%. All right. Let's look at it at the 78.6. If it did the same, about say a 45%, about a 45%. Oh, wow. About 135%. Okay, so it went from about 45%, guys. The same move at a lower level would be what? About 135%, something like that, over 100%. Why is that important? Because if you have cash available to take care of these lower levels, if and when they get hit, you're seeing what happens to your money. It increases dramatically, right? Because the same move at a lower level is going to pay you immensely well. Okay, it's just a matter. It's just computational. It's not advice. You don't even have to get there. You don't have to go there. It's just computational. Okay, the same amount of movement at a higher price. Let's say if you just look at the same movement, okay, let's say we're adding on 2 cents or 5 cents, right? We're going from, and this is just structural thinking here, 53 cents to 63 cents. We're adding on 10 cents. All right, great. What's that going to be up towards the top? Well, ballpark, it's going to be around 17, 18%. All right, great. What's that going to be down around here? Well, that's going to be ballpark around, 100%. Got it? It's the same move. Okay, this threshold tolerance of these moves, etc. Guys, you're going to make more money as you stack your cash lower. Now, that's why we build up cash in terms of the strategy. We build the cash up at the lower levels. We understand that it behooves us to it's rational to have heavier amounts of cash at the lower levels. You're going to get in at better price action, guys. And as you're retracing, I'll say this: if you're in a bull run and everything's just running up through the roof, you don't have any questions, causes, concerns, etc. Like there's just no hesitations. Hey, who wouldn't want to be a part of something that's just going up and up and up? That's great. Now, Dogecoin has that overall dynamic to it, but Bitcoin has just been kind of a bear recently, right? It's turned into a bear, right? So, to the extent that and just look at the two charts. Look at Dogecoin. Look at Bitcoin. They both have, the interesting thing right now is they both played off of their 78.6% retracement, okay, on the Fibonacci's. Both of them did. As of like today, when they both spilled out, they spilled out to the same level. So they correlated quite well, right? They correlated extremely well today, Bitcoin and Dogecoin. Dogecoin held up well today in comparison to the rest of the market. That's not to say that you made money today unless you traded this very specifically. You could have made money today on Dogecoin. Absolutely. Positively. The group here knows. You're absolutely right. Now, you would have had to deploy essentially what we've talked about, right? The double down, then the triple down, the triple and triple, right? Absolutely. You guys know that? Yeah. You know that. If you had done that on this micro frequency, what we discuss, the figures that we've discussed, if you would have done that, you would have made money, guys, on this micro frequency. And all you're going to say, well, that's not enough of a move. Do the math. Do your own calculations. Do your calculations and see whether or not you would have made cash on this if you had deployed the double down, then the triple, triple, triple at every single level. Do it. See what you would have made. At the bottom level, you would have made, upwards, almost a 10% move was possible on the heaviest amount of cash that you would have invested. All right, as opposed to kind of the lighter amounts of cash up top. So maybe it's close, maybe it's not. This previous level kind of got touched at a little bit. You would have had to really trade it heavily. Are you out of the trade? I don't know. Are you close? Probably. Mathematically, you could definitely make it happen. It's a micro interval, and it's a good kind of lesson to just play lightly when you're in a bearish trend, when you're in a big retracement. Why? Because the odds are, guys, that you're going to go to the next level. Just play like you're going to. Trade like you're going to. Okay? Just trade like you're going to. The next level down. Prepare for all the charts that I'm giving the VIPs, etc. Everything I'm showing on here, and I show a lot of things on here, guys, just in case anybody is anyone is looking for that information. We have all this information in the VIP. Okay, that's just what we do. I give this information out to them. They want the information, and so I give it to them. In terms of like Matic, we made, we got in at like 78 cents. I brought it to the attention of the group at 78 cents. It went to like 250 in like 10 days recently. That's during the first week of us like kind of being around, right? So the group here has a phenomenal track record. A phenomenal track record. It's just the truth. They understand also it's not a circumstance where we're ever over involved, right? We're never over involved at a high level. We're just not. You show me a high price, guess what? I guarantee you, I'm not involved at a high level. And I mean, I'm not involved with big exposure. All right, show me a high price. I'll guarantee you one thing: I am not fully involved. Period. Well, since us just hit a new all-time high, I'll guarantee you one thing: I am not involved. I'm not overexposed in that. As exciting as it is, as much as we want to think it's going to continue to go up and continue to go up. Okay. I sell high. I buy low. All right? That's normal market behavior. If something's too high, I don't have much of a demand in it, guys. It's just the demand curve says if the price is extremely high, there's not much demand, right? As price comes down, I have more demand. So we will continue to kind of talk about Dogecoin. I believe it's going to get tired of this level. If it can pick up, that'd be beautiful. If it can establish a reversal, it'd be amazing. For that to occur, either it's going to have to be the go-to. And guys, if we could get back into the point in time where it is the go-to, that'd be beautiful. Because as the whole market, remember a couple of weeks ago, the whole market was going down. Yeah, everybody's like, yeah. And what was the go-to? It was Dogecoin. It was the one that was up 20 and 30%. How cool was that, huh? If we could get back to that, then we're talking a different story, right? But right now, that doesn't seem to be occurring. That's not the case, right? We're showing a, what'd you say, confluence? You know, I don't want to get too fancy with the words. We're showing a confluence, right? Moving in the same direction. Correlation, right? It's kind of the fancier word. Maybe confluence is fancier. I'm not sure. Correlation. We're correlated with Bitcoin right now. What does that mean? Well, we need to jump off that train in terms of if we can establish a negative correlation with Bitcoin, that sure would be nice. That sure would be nice, right? So, that's what made Bitcoin kind of the solo like artist. Yeah, what was it, like 2 weeks ago when things would go down and Bitcoin was up, right? And James Bond in the chat right now, yeah, VIP crew is fully prepared. You bet we are. Absolutely 100%. We've been talking about this for weeks, for months. If anyone else is just kind of showing up, this has been since like the fallout of guys of Bitcoin. I'm just going to tell you, when Bitcoin started frustrating, what do? In and around this area? Oh yeah, big time. Talking about heavier cash at the lower levels. I'm talking about at the lower levels of like 25,000, of like 14,000, of like, of lower levels when it started to frustrate sideways, right? Because it doesn't make sense for people to buy in at 64,000 when you can barely make a higher high. That has been occurring, guys, and we've done a real thorough diagnostic on this. It's been a phenomenal market. It's just overheated. It's just overheated, right? It's like an engine that sits there and it's just running in the red zone. It's like you have got to shut off that engine, man. It's going to break, right? So, that's essentially what it is. The engine of the market has just overheated. That's it. We've seen it for a long time. We've seen it for months and months, guys, literally for the past, since and around mid-February, believe it or not, definitely into like mid-March, we have seen it. It's overheated. People are anxious in the market. They have tried to hype it. They've tried to push it up. They've done a good job of trying. It's just overheated, right? So it needs to correct. People want to know, well, what level is this going to go to? I can't tell you the exact level it's going to go down to, but I can tell you the different levels it's going to want to touch exactly as it goes down. How do you know? Well, it's already hit exactly our previous level. So, we're not off on these. We're very accurate on this channel. Very accurate. We use the tools, guys, that are available to us. Matic was a nice hit. Maybe it can reverse and start to go to the upside. Today we hit that exactly. Bam. All right. On a newly drawn fib. Brand new VIP today, had been around for an hour or 2 hours. Bam. He hits the exact strike target price. Beautiful, huh? Very nicely done. Brand new VIP, just walk in, just cold hands, just on the street, just bam. He decides he just nails it. So I'm not sure what his overall return is right now, or what he got out at, but that's what we try and do every day. I bring that information to people every day. What's the next hit? What are our levels? Right? Sometimes they'll correlate with what's going on here on screen. If they change, they change. And that's that personal update that they get. So it's people who want to make money, even in a down market. Anybody can make money in an up market. It's real easy, right? Yeah, it's real easy. In a down market, that's the trick, huh? That's where you get that's where you get literal. When I say street cred on Wall Street, you would get street cred, right? That kind of street, Wall Street cred. So that's and that's always been the fascination. People who like to trade is like, well, I want to get into options. They're a little bit risky. I'm not talking about options. You can do that definitely. I'm talking about pricing targets, literal entries. Like, where do you want to enter into? If it's likely that you're going to go up after you enter, that's real simple. Like, that's the easy way to make money. You're going to make money, right? That's the equation's real simple. If the price goes up after you enter, well, then perfect, you're going to make money. Who doesn't want to make money in the market? Believe it or not, there's some people that don't want to. They don't want to do the math. They don't want to make money. I don't know if it's a punishment phase or what it is, but I guess they just want to hold. Maybe they like the journey, right? Maybe they like the journey. That's okay. I like the journey too, but I like it when people around me are operating rationally and when they want to make money, right? Yeah, and when they have cash available for the lower levels. If you don't have cash available for the lower levels, you're going to wind up buying high, okay? Or you bought low, you're going to carry it high, and you're going to go back down low. No one wants to do that, guys. No one wants to lose. You don't want to lose. It's too much to lose. Some of you have gone up to hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars. You've done very well. What good is it to go all the way back down? Please think about stuff, guys. If you have to go down 60 or 70 or 80 or 90%, come on. You don't need to do that. You don't. You can trade this next level if it decides to get there. You can keep some degree of a positive. It's not financial advice, guys. Do your own finances. It's just mathematically, you'll be able to trade this lower level. It's like I can't convince people to make money sometimes. I shouldn't really try. I'm interested in how the math works out, right? Because I know the math works out. So if I have an equation mathematically and it results in a profit, that's where it becomes difficult for me, because I can't imagine that people wouldn't want the equation that's going to make money. And the good news is we have 84 members of the VIP. So I'm sitting here acting kind of depressed or this and that. It's kind of upsetting. No one gets it. No, we have 84 members as of the last, 10 days? Yeah, we have 84 VIPs that they get it. They're like, no, we're hello, we're right here. We're here to make money, right? So that's good news. Let me look at the chat, see what you guys have to ask. All right, let's see what you got. Now, we don't have to go down to these levels. You guys know that. We do not have to go down to the 78.6 or even really the golden pocket fully. We don't have to do that. It's not necessary. I personally, in my opinion, it makes a lot more sense since we're at this level right here in the 50% retracement. It makes an abundance of sense to go ahead and have orders set up, limit orders set up, lower than this amount with probably a multiple of this. I'd say a 3 to maybe even a 5x multiple of what you have involved right here. A 3 to a 5x multiple right here. And I would say at the lower level right here, you might want a 3 to a 5x multiple of everything you have involved here. Not necessarily on margin where you're going to say, I'm going to go ahead and compute this out and I want to trade at 3x. No, because then they're probably going to take your cash. I'm talking about literal amounts of directed cash, right? So that the equation can work out so you're not hitting a stop loss. Yeah. So that's kind of that is kind of important in terms of the mathematics, how they work out. There is a big group here. I'm very happy to have you guys, by the way. I'm just excited to have all of you. It's a group that gets it. We have some phenomenally talented individuals in the VIP and in the base camp. I'll say in the base camp as well. Very talented people. I know some of the base camp are looking towards moving up. Guys, the first move, we had a brand new VIP today. And for the first move, what was it, within the first, 10, 15 minutes, he pulls off a trade. He's like, I'm in. I'm like, that was quick. Immediately, Zachary got in. Zachary Wishon immediately got in and immediately pulls off a trade. I'm like, well, hey, it's like maybe you need to start, I don't know, a quick book here in terms of the record that you just accomplished. So we have, people, do really well. Some people there's just too many stories. People making a $10,000 day, a $10,000 move, a $5,000 in 10 minutes. There's nice stories like that. So we also have I want to shout out to all the military in and around you or your family, in terms of your forefathers, et cetera, that have served in the military, U.S., domestic or abroad, essentially. Either with joint force, et cetera. We have a lot of military partners around the world. A lot of you have studied it. It's in your heritage. Appreciate you guys being a part of that dynamic of service. It means a lot. And hopefully this channel is able to bring you guys, because I know you're very busy, hopefully this channel is able to bring you guys something positive in terms of kind of increasing your efficiencies, because I know you guys are very into efficiency and you're also working very hard for the country, okay, or you have in the past. So hopefully all this is of service to you guys. I would appreciate, I would like, just to be able to accomplish that. And we have Soshit in, another VIP. We do have a group of people that understand the dynamic that's happening. Let's talk about one thing, because it kind of lurks around in your mind. It's like, well, what if everything just goes down all the way, right? Everyone's kind of like, well, let's talk about it. What if everything goes down, okay? Well, the deal is, if everything were to go down, at least to the next level, what we do is we focus on the next level. After this golden pocket, which, guys, that's kind of a, what I'll just say, if we get down to the golden pocket, if we get down to the, let me redraw this just a bit. Let me get on the zero here. Okay, if we get past the golden pocket, if we get down to 7, 8, 6, if we get all the way down to past 10, 15, 14, and I may redraw this a few times. I'll give VIPs the exactitudes of it later on. As we look at these 06, 07, as we look down into the lower levels, just understand, I mean, yeah, those levels can happen. Are they likely? Maybe not. Maybe they're not likely. All right. But as they can occur, it's just be prepared for them. That's just it. Now, in 2018, do you guys know what happened in 2018? Yes or no? You guys know more or less? We'll talk about 2018. Let's just go through the details real quickly and see if we can find 2018. Because I think we should look at what happened in 2018. Yeah. Let's look at the 1 year. Now, the 1 year should allow us to go back. No, I was just going to do the 1 year. Let's do 5. 5 is going to give us 18. You can pull the stops out here, TradingView. Don't do this to us. Well, isn't that nice? We want to see that. Let me see if I can pull up another chart of BTC, USD. Maybe Coinbase will have it. Let's look at Coinbase and see whether or not you have the full price history. There we go. There's the full price history. All right. Let's just check out what happened in 2000 and 2018. All right. First of all, we're at a very crucial level in the market. You guys see that? Can you tell me why? What happened in 2018 that was very crucial, and is the point in time that we're at right now? This 200-day moving average. All right? So people talk about it. Well, it loves to bounce off the 200-day moving average. It loves to move up. It's just doing a natural correction. Look at the 2018 crash. As soon as it broke through that, it was pretty much gone. Then it started using it as resistance. All right, in and around this area, kind of later in the summertime of 2018. That's crucial, guys. That's a key indicator that we would look at. And it's going to drive Dogecoin. It's going to drive the other, to the extent that Dogecoin could be an outlier. It could, but it's just right now it's driving Dogecoin. So this is kind of the hot zone right here. Yeah, that's kind of the hot zone where we have a crossover, right? That crossover is kind of deadly. Okay, we don't want to see that occur. That's where we're at right now, right? That is exactly where we're at right now. And I would just say that's you know, it's a coincident factor. It's a variable that needs to be discussed on a basic level. Can it hold? Sure, it can hold. Would it need to? I think there's a lot of people who honestly think this really needs to hold. Like really needs to hold on the aggregate. What did occur in 2018 is that essentially we saw a huge run up in price. All right. And it's significant. Look at the run up in price 2018. What did it get to? About let's say 15, 18 grand, right? All right. It went from, let's see, the increase in price. Nice increase in price, huh? Huge, right? It went from, let's say, $600, huh? To over 15, 18,000, etc. Right? So nice move. Nice move. Then it broke through the 200-day moving average. I hear a lot of people saying right now, they're saying, well, you know, this is going to be the support line. We still see it going to 500,000. All right, that's fine. All right, you know, that's possible, right? Anything can happen. Anything can happen. I would certainly be prepared for those lower levels. I mean, that's what I would say. I would be very much prepared for those lower levels. Yeah. And, you know, we can look at, you know, the dynamics of how this worked out. And what's nice is you see, well, it's kind of cool because I got to tell you, huh? Let's kind of start to zoom in here. You start to see even after, you know, things really went south. I mean, look at this. We start to develop some price action in line with the Fibonacci. Look at this. We move up to the upside. We retrace. We're hitting a few Fibonacci levels, right? The 50%, the golden pocket. Then we just round out right here in that 786. That's pretty cool, huh? Look at that. The yellow is the price line. That's nice. That's right on that yellow, huh? That's kind of tradable, huh? I bet there's a lot of frequencies in here where people can trade. What do you guys bet? You're like, yeah, you bet it, huh? VIPs, everybody else in the house, yeah. I bet you there are some nice frequencies in here to trade all through this stuff. Yeah. Look at this in here. Hey, it looks like more frequencies you can go ahead and you can trade in this. And I bet if we zoom in, I know there are more things we could trade, right? Yeah, we can start trading this stuff. That looks like fun all of a sudden. The more we zoom in and we start laying it out, on a Fibonacci, yeah, it kind of looks like, I mean, that's a lot of volatility. I like that. All of a sudden, it doesn't look so compressed. So I want to bring this up to you guys in the base camp and the Fibonacci, or in the Fibonacci. Should call it Fibonacci VIP almost. But as you look at this, I want you to realize, well, it looks like there's some price action here. We could deal with this. We could have some fun with this. Yeah, even if Bitcoin's not at an all-time high, even if it's not, you know, going through the roof, if it's starting to retrace, see, this is a nice thing. If it's starting to retrace, you know, really, we may be looking at another scenario where we have a good long time to trade. It may be real aggressive to the downside, but this group, I think, gets excited and like, yeah, let's lay into this, okay? Because you know that's what gets good, right? Yeah, okay. You want to break down, you want to do different things, but the more that we are able to focus in this time period here and say, man, look at all that volatility. That's beautiful. That's not that bad of a story. As long as what? As long as you have cash available for the lower levels, right? Yeah. As long as you have cash available for the lower levels to deploy your cash here, this is fun. If you don't and you just ride this down, you're in the hole for a year and a half or 2 years. That's no fun. You can't even trade. You can't even, I mean, you're a part of the market, but you're stuck in the market. Whereas with cash, reserve cash, you can redeploy it. You can make more money. You can have a good time. You can trade, right? So that's the idea. As you guys look at kind of where we're at right now, I mean, just look at all that price action. That's fun. What's wrong with that? Nothing. VIPs, what's up? Yeah, you start to look at that like, okay, we hadn't really seen it like that. Because I've talked about where you're just stuck for a while, this and that, a couple years, year and a half. Look at this. That's some dramatic price action, huh? I mean, that's good stuff. It's real good stuff. If it crashes down through the floor to these different levels. Right now, I would anticipate it's going to do that, right? We're going to have some sort of event like this. It's going to frustrate out. At some point, it's going to want to break out and probably establish a new all-time high. At some point, it may want to go sideways for a while. It may be very involved in some highly volatile situations, which I guess we're going to have to try and really profit off those situations, right? And as it goes down, we're going to be the ones, you guys recall, as it hit the first, kind of key fib level, that 38.2, you guys recall, we called that our pricing target. Perfectly hit. That was what was that at the 38.2? Was that like a 30% hit on Bitcoin in a number of hours? Yeah, number of hours. Very nice. That's fun, right? Even on a big old monstrous thing like Bitcoin, right? So we have a lot of options in terms of what we're going to be looking at doing. And I proffer to you that it's going to be a good time. We're going to have fun, and we're going to really try and make some money. That's the whole idea. We're going to try and make some good money. There's no other reason for us to be involved in the market, guys. I mean, maybe to learn, maybe to kind of go over the academia and kind of historical lesson on it. So that's just not really where, that's not where my drive is in terms of like, let's go through the history. Let's go culturally. Like, I'm not into that, guys. I want to trade and make money. So do you. That's why we're here. So as we look at Bitcoin versus Dogecoin, what does Dogecoin present to us that's any different? Well, Dogecoin presents kind of the same run up. We don't have the same price history necessarily back in through time before time, right? This is the first real significant move up. But we're going to anticipate that we're going to have nice events to trade. I don't think the Elon effect is going to leave Dogecoin. I just don't think it will. But we just need to be prepared for the absolute kind of lowest figures that it could possibly get to. We just do. And that's just that is what that is. Okay, in terms of that, it just is what it is. Now I'll probably redraw some pricing targets for the VIPs, etc. kind of later on today. It looks like we're trying to kind of hold in around this area. That's fine. It also, like, we're trying to formulate some sort of triangulation. It's kind of some guesswork right now because we're just in the mode we have cranked over, we've hammered over, and now we're starting to get into this same retracement, this same phenomenon. We're now, since 7 o'clock, guys, 8, 9, 10, 11, in 4.5 hours. In 4.5 hours. Now, no one liked it. Do you guys know how many people have cycled through this room and said, I don't like this? Do you know how many people have done that? I can count right now in terms of how many people are in this room and even said that they like to hear what I'm talking about and pushed the like button. Why? Because you don't like to hear this. I don't know why. You don't like to hear it. When I'm talking about this going down, frustrating, achieving lower prices, and it actually happens, it's like you don't even like to hear that in advance. You'd rather be told that everything's going to be fine and you're going to make money even if it's a lie. I'm not going to tell you that. Even if it's not indicated. You want to hear that. I'm not going to tell it to you. I'm not going to just make things up so that it sounds better, so I can get more popular, so I can have more listeners. No, not at all. Zero possibility. Right? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to compromise my own integrity and my credibility with, I started off today and the entirety of this talking about how, preserving cash, having it available for the downside. That's what I started out as. Yesterday, I talked about the triangulation. It's a bearish pattern. We expect it to move down. I get, kind of a reflex action from you. No, it's actually this. It's bullish. Like, okay, you think what you want to. I'll bring up 20, 30 other charts where, it's not ascending, it's a symmetrical or descending. It's the nature of the market right now. Is that, is it depressing? I don't want it to be depressing. I just showed you the Bitcoin 2018. There's a ton of volatility, ton of opportunities to make money. We make money when things go down. We also make money when things go up, right? Yeah. So you're trapped in this psychology right now where going down is a bad thing. I am of the opinion that going down is a good thing if I have available cash and I can deploy it and pick up more coins at a lower price. And guess what? I always keep heavy amounts of reserve cash to pick up coins at a lower price. Reserve cash, heavy amounts of cash. Okay? For situations like this. And no, people don't like to hear it, but I'll tell you, those are the guys that make money. Think about it. Those are the guys who are making money, or the guys who don't spend all their cash. They don't buy high and sell low, right? They don't spend all their cash at the upper level, at the higher levels. You know, maybe you have bought early and you've ridden this up. If it's very depressing for you, I understand that fully. Like I'm very tuned into that fact, right? Absolutely. I don't intend any of this to be kind of what would you say, like insensitive whatsoever. I'm very sensitive, very tuned into the smaller investor who is very involved in this, that this is very traumatic for. It may sound like I'm a really rough guy or a tough guy. You need to understand I'm very tuned into the fact that as a smaller investor or a kind of a newer investor, that this kind of stuff can be very traumatic. It just definitely can, right? I'll also say it happens to most of us when we start to trade. Okay, so you're not going through anything that other people haven't gone through. All right, you earn your stripes trading. Part of them is typically you'll get involved in something where you lose your shirt. Right? It happens. People who've lost it, like, yeah, it happens. That's how you learn. So when it seems like I'm being kind of rough or I'm telling you something you don't want to hear, and like, well, that's no fun, I want it to go up. Hey, I'm right with you. But you'll lose money. And the market, the way you learn lessons in the market is you lose money, unfortunately. Then you study real hard. You pay attention to different things. You decide, okay, I'm gonna get back in the game. I want to get back in the market. Right? It may take years though. So we try and bring you ideas to where you won't lose money or as much money, right? So our big idea is having backup cash at lower levels, right? Triple down. We want to triple down at lower levels. Don't want to be involved if something's just like in a free-for-all or it's in a pattern that's going to break down. We don't necessarily want to be involved in negative price action, right? So, that's just the fact here. That's how things go. And the level of sophistication in the crowd, I'll just say, like, there's a lot of sophisticated people. There's guys, investment bankers know about Dogecoin, right? So this space exists right here in this channel, and it's not for everybody. And I don't need to speak towards the masses of, to the moon. I don't need to do all that stuff, guys. We're sophisticated enough in this room that in this channel right here that we could talk, heavy options. We could go through futures contracts. We could do a lot of different things that a lot of people do. We may be able to do them better than the resources that we have, et cetera, than what those other groups are even marginally capable of doing. Right, so that's the crowd that we are. We talk about Dogecoin because it's kind of a phenomenon. If we do trade, which we have, it's interesting to be involved in crypto because it's got a lot of volatility. We love it, and Dogecoin, along with Bitcoin, it's just, these are phenomenal events right now. With the number one business guy getting into it, you can't argue at the returns from 6 cents or 007. It was 007, to what is that? To 75. That's not bad, huh? That's not bad. Excuse me. So as we look at that, it's been fun, right? It's just been fun. So you guys definitely could trade options. You could get into. You have a lot of different venues to go in terms of investing. I'll just say this for the group, right? For the VIPs, etc. I know we're gonna keep trading. I know we're gonna have fun. I want to hammer these pricing targets first, right? I want to hammer these pricing targets. A little bit of exposure right now, just a touch, pepper in a little bit, just a touch, right? Then I want to hammer down this level, right? Just hammer this. I talked about like ripping the punching bag, just hit the punching bag and have it fly off the rafters of the if you got it in the garage, just break it off the rafters. Like hit it that hard, just bam, right? Bam. That's what I want to do. That's my philosophy right now. Okay, if it can get there, if it wants to turn around and we have a big, if we have a big turnaround in the market, a pivot, and we establish a reversal, technically that is indicated. Technically, okay, technically that's indicated. We drew out the pricing dynamics. We drew out the wave theory. 1, 2, 3, 4. We would anticipate it going up again. That's what we would anticipate. So, can we assure that's going to happen? No, no. We might be able to tell by looking at Bitcoin, kind of what wave theory brought us in 2018. We can look at that and kind of extrapolate information over. It's just, right now, I'm not bothered by the fact if it wants to establish a trend reversal. You guys know from this period of time right here, people became more heavily involved. You probably involved more of your cash during this time period. This was a clear breakout of a bull pennant amidst a bull, like a bull run. So that's a situation where you may involve more of your cash, still having reserves, right? But you still may, you may not be at every single level and guarded so much. You may decide, no, this is a beautiful move. We're gonna launch into this one, right? That's your call. When we're in the circumstance we are now, and the circumstance I've been for a long time, I've been discussing doubling and tripling down the whole time. Why? Just to create, this. I want to create this little bedrock of cash here. I just do. Why? Because it is so much better deployed at that lower level, right? It makes so much more sense. As you guys looking at, throwing together just massive amounts of cash. Yeah, like massive amounts of cash over the next 2 to 3 years. Not everyone's going to talk to you about this. But yeah, that massive amount of cash down here is sweet, right? It's not so sweet up here, right? It's kind of like if you did this, that's what it's going to look like up here. Up here, if we were to move that same amount of cash up here, it's going to look a little bit more like this, right? Yeah, it's going to look a lot more like that. We don't like it to look like that, huh? We don't want to be in the red like that. There's a reason the top of these fibs are red, in my opinion, okay? So, the green kind of sweet spot I like that. It's kind of like right in the middle. Yeah, you can kind of plan things out, but right kind of in the middle in here. Kind of sweet spot. Good spot. This is funny. It's kind of the gray area, huh? Kind of the gray area. Like, you're down, right? You're kind of down. When we break through that 78.6, if we do, it's a big deal. You'll probably have a great opportunity to make some money at that 78.6%. So that's just it. The exciting part is we have the right group, okay? From Australia to, all over the world, guys. We have the right group. That's exciting. If you're new and you haven't been here since the beginning of the stream, hit the like button. I'll know what to re-explain or not in terms of the dynamics of Doge and everything going on. Hit the like button if you just kind of showed up last 10, 15 minutes, something like that. Now, this is what your cash looks like if deployed at the top, right? That's what your cash looks like if it's deployed at the top. This is what it looks like deployed at the bottom. So, it's just, that's kind of the function. And this, you can ride this whole thing down if you want to. If you invest at the top, you can ride the whole thing down, and you can turn the whole bloody thing into a mess like that. Right? Yeah, you absolutely can. You don't want to do that. You want to buy low, sell high. Right? Unless you get points, because I tell you, other people are doing it, right? So unless you just get points for being, I don't know if you get, you get diamond hand points, that's okay. Maybe things are going to turn around real well, and this is not a doomsday deal. It's just while the market has been pouring out like this, who has been here talking to you about it kind of beforehand? Me. Last night was a big discussion, kind of like this. What happened? Today already one time, it looked like this. So I'm spending hours with you guys, happily, letting you know that as this occurs, in the market, we're down by 19, 17, 13, 12, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Look at David. David's awesome, huh? I love that, huh? Nice job, brother. Nice job. Let me see what we got on, let me see, alert box. We need to, let me see what we have on properties. Let me make sure we have the, we need the sound. I need that sound to come through. I think it'll come through here in a second, but I just saw that. It's just hilarious. Very, very nice. We have that popping up. That's nice. Maybe a little bit more silent right now. We have some audio issues going on. It's not a big deal. Just time to kind of relax. Look at David Sweets. He's VIP. He's fantastic. You see it just just running against the wind, right? It's great, huh? That's the kind of attitude we have in VIP in the chat room. I love the chat room. We found out 2 guys today. Jason's lit, military. He's got baby on the way. We also found out Amor Fati is having a child as well. So we just have a cool group like that. It's nice to learn those things. It's nice to experience that stuff. And yeah, it's just it's nice. David, thank you for the for the action. I'll just say that because it's nice to it's nice. It's just nice. It's kind of something going on. And, I anticipate you guys are going to be continuing to do well, right? You're not involved. We just should, honestly, guys, we're having good discussions about where things are kind of going and where does it look like they wind up going? Well, they're kind of going, they're kind of going here. The fact that we're calling it out beforehand and kind of like letting everyone know, hey, guys, have a good, all the money you've made along the way, how about you put it over here? Right? Yeah. And you maybe put just a little bit of exposure, but yeah, we're going to stack cash right here. So we're all around this price action recently. Will it hit the 618 again? If it gets there, yeah, it'll probably be a move that you guys will want to look at. Right? So, yeah, that's just nice. And for the, hoorah, what's up, Dave? Yeah, you got it, brother. My friend, I got a few friends in the military, like real strong. One big dude, he big old Navy guy. And he just big brother. He'll sit there with smoke cigars around him. Sometimes he'll watch me walk out. He'll just say, walk hard and carry a big stick. And he goes, hoorah. Just like that. I'm like, you got it, man. He's probably 6'8", something like that. I'm like, man, I'll walk. You say walk, I'll do it, brother. But yeah, we got just a bunch of military friends, and we have a good time with all that. And yeah, it's just nice. It's cool. And yeah, thanks, Dave. You're cool people, man. It's good to have you. It's good to have the new guys last couple of days. We're building up to 100, and it's going to be 100 people who are going to want to trade. You guys are going to see when we hit real hard on these. It's going to be the days when we hit, and people are going to be like, "Yep, that's what we're doing." Because our exposure right now is what it's enough that David's like putting up a flying. I don't know what that is. I mean, I'm laughing at that in terms of the overall. You chose that, huh? It's cool. I like that you chose it. One was a banana, and that one's it's just humorous. It's nice. It's like it's like the super chat meme. It's pretty cool. So, as we look at the price action, it looks like it's kind of breaking down through what it was trying to hold. Okay, that's fine. That's just I'm not mad at it. It's gonna maybe be a question as to whether or not it wants to hold this right here at the 30 cents versus this right here at the 27 cents, right? The 28 cents. The 28 should be a stronger level. Okay, there should be more money because it coincides with an aggregate level. Okay, on the whole of it, it coincides on the whole entirety of the Fibonacci, not just on the most recent kind of even kind of an abbreviated kind of price schedule here. Because what it did from this one, it hit the 7.8 essentially. As you look at this price action, it hit the 7.8 right here. After this touchdown at the I want to say the golden pocket, the top of the golden pocket. We called that out. We woke up to that the other day. That was nice. Now, as we look at the touchdown again in terms of where it's going, we can say it's been kind of around at its golden pocket. If we draw down to the left, these are just assumptions. I'm not real concerned about the assumptions right now. I'm not real concerned. The price targets are big, right? We'll go over those in definite more specificity. We've thrown up enough specificity on them already. But we'll throw up some real exacted, very, very, pay attention to these numbers right here, right now kind of deals, and a lot of you may be involved in doing your own charts, and that's okay, right? That's okay. We'll get to that. It's just the way that it will go. We will become more precise. It's like incoming. This is it. You'll have a big arrow right at it, and it'll be maybe the consensus of what all of us have decided. We'll put the computations into it. We'll look at the aggregate of what we have kind of developed as a team, and I just think that's nice that we have that dynamic to where you guys are some smart people, right? And I value what you have to put together. And just know that at the end of it, I spend a lot of time on this stuff to try and be as accurate as possible. I've had to be very accurate financially in the past on some of the deals I've worked on, right? So that's just the nature of the training I've been through financially, from an analyst position, lead analyst position, to merger and acquisition for a major REIT, working directly for a CEO of a major public corporation, just doing the financial annualized reports for the shareholders, and just a lot of digging, a lot of precision. So this stuff, it just kind of comes naturally to me. Sometimes we'll go off the cuff. Hey, look at these, look at this, look at that. Now, what is your gut reaction on this? Or do you have any involvement? At what levels? Where are you? Sometimes it'll be, kind of, pushing around ideas, etc. Other times it'll be real kind of laser focused and serious, where you guys understand, this is the move. We'll have maybe a few of those moves coming up here soon. One of them will be whether or not this wants to touch, you can say at this 786. It took off from the 786 and around here, I want to say. Yeah, it probably did just about that. So it could do the same again here. It doesn't have to for sure. It's already essentially done that. So on the line, it hasn't. So it can, if you wanted to play that, just keep the exposure light, right? Just keep the exposure light. If you want to kind of, and I hate to say this because if you want to kind of, I say lightly leverage into this, almost like like if you want to pepper in a little bit, but lightly leverage into it, right? Just lightly leverage into it. Why? Because down here you're going to have more, okay? You're going to have to triple down into that. Then as you get into this is going to be kind of the all aboard, right? Railway station. This is going to be a heavy level, right? There's going to be a lot of people that are going to play this level. Should be a lot of people play this level. Should be a heck of a move. If this cannot turn into and manifest into a reversal. So we have, let's look at the percentage that we have to go still to get down to the 786, about 3.5%. To get down to the golden pocket again, we have about 13% to go down. So, yeah, it's just I have to shout out, and I have to let you guys know honestly, in terms of the VIP, it was awesome to watch today. You guys talking about such and such is expecting a new kiddo, right? Y'all talking about how that's going to change your life. Then another person expecting a new kiddo. It's awesome, yeah. Talking with different people chit-chatting about you guys being involved in the New York Institute of Finance already. We have people involved in the New York Institute of Finance getting certification. The group is going to be awesome, and this is a great time to learn, right? As things are retracing. I noticed some of you they're telling me I'm not really involved as much as I want to be on the trading. Right now I'm in the New York Institute of Finance, and I'll have my certification by the end of the week, by the end of next week. I'm like, seriously? That's just beautiful. I mean, if you pick up right when we have a reversal, we're trying to move up again. That's just that's phenomenal. But it's just nice to experience that, guys. It's very, very that's who would have known? I have no idea. Who would have known you'd have a trading group, and then you would have people at New York Institute of Finance. You're sitting there talking with good people about, your future children, just good stuff, family, etc. It's really, really cool, huh? That's a heck of a nice environment, huh? Excuse me. I have got to get allergy shots. I think just the general, I'm not sure. I think we're around a lot of pollution. I've just determined that if I jog, etc., outside, it just congests me. I don't know why. I don't like it. I don't like it. So we can deal with some additional questions you might have. This is kind of the tone and tenor of it, is the VIP are doing excellently well, right? You guys are doing a great job. If additional people want to become involved in it, then that's very positive. We would be happy to do that. I don't want you guys handing out contact information in the tweet. If you can do that. What do we have? It looks like you have a question that someone can't upgrade. I've been through an issue like that before, and it looks like we've just had a real big problem after that. So in terms of handing out contact information like that, I really don't want people handing out any contact information. So how do you contact people? No, we don't do that. It's okay, but if you can pay PayPal or transfer direct, no, we don't do that because people cause problems after the fact. So you should be able to just upgrade there. I'm sorry, guys. You should be able to upgrade on your PC. It's real easy. So you got to find another PC or maybe another account. But we don't transfer money via PayPal. We don't do that to anybody or contact people. We've run into issues, and we have to get rid of those issues. So just understand. Let's see. Sign up and pay. Yeah, well, that's nice, David. That's really nice of you. Yeah, I just got that message. And I just say that, yeah, no, I really appreciate you trying to help. There's nothing wrong. It's just it's weird stuff. And see, we don't do the Discord thing. It's just, we're not into that. There's some bad dudes that run around and do some bad stuff on Discord and everything else. That's why we're on Twitter. We have enterprise levels of security. And it just should be, I would contact YouTube. The one thing I'll put in here, contact YouTube. There we go. That'll be easy enough. YouTube with any questions, because they run all of the details in terms of the payments and all the different stuff. And it goes through like a formalized kind of, audit process, everything else that's, formally registered. And, that's nice. Whereas it's not like off the books with like Discord. We quit Discord. We want enterprise security, like a backup team that's looking at things, and that's just what we want. We kind of demand that. It's a nice feature. So we really appreciate YouTube. We really appreciate. No, I didn't boot them. I just removed those individual messages. So I don't want people contacting people outside of the group. This should never be anything that's facilitating contacting people. That shouldn't occur. So that's just it. I don't want people being contacted and feel like you're being. That's just from a protection standpoint, from a moderation standpoint. That's just it. So it is confusing. You can't sign up from it's just we've gone through this upgrade issue before. So, people can figure it out. I know you can. Contact YouTube, and it shouldn't be a problem. I know it's not a problem. And I look forward to you joining and getting that resolved. Absolutely. I know that you can. So a lot of people have. 84 people have gotten it resolved. David, thanks for bringing that to the attention. You have brought the spice to the night. I'll tell you that. Just nice if I say that. Yeah, and that's just been real cool that you've been. What a nice guy, huh? David, we'll have to send you a T-shirt or something. I don't want your money to go to waste. I mean, it's nice you're supporting, but I guess we have to make it. We're gonna make a T-shirt for David. He's just being cool tonight, so we'll make a T-shirt for David. We'll send it to him. Very cool. Appreciate it. I'm gonna write that down and make a note of it. Looks like you've earned yourself a T-shirt. Just might as well do something positive with your generosity to show you that we mean something cool. So there you go. David won a impromptu T-shirt tonight just because he was cool and being a fun guy and everything else. So I'm going to have to design a T-shirt now, and I'll get you a T-shirt. Let me know XL or double XL or whatever you want. So you got a T-shirt. That's cool. That's cool. You have a VIP T-shirt. Working on the cards, working on some different stuff. We'll get all that stuff together. And, we'll put some good stuff together. I do want you guys to understand, and I do, and no, it's no problem. Feel free to talk with anybody. It's complications with the tech, etc. That's fine. Just everyone can. He's not kicked out. It's just removing those questions of how do we contact you, etc. Because I just want, just keep trying. Contact YouTube. It's not easy, but they have a personal chat. You can actually chat with them. I think you're able to chat with a live representative. So I did that the other night, and I got my answers resolved. So I look forward to you doing that. When. And yeah, I know you've been around. I don't want people contacted outside the confines of something just because we never know. And I wouldn't want you contacted by someone else either. So that's just kind of one of the rules in terms of, just kind of, being a good moderator, et cetera. Just kind of reminding the P's and Q's. So I look forward to you trying to contact YouTube. I know it's not always easy. I had a chat with them as well, and it's just not easy. So, what are we going to do, guys? We're looking at, let's just kind of review with Dogecoin. We'll just review the pricing action. Everything is, and I say, what are we going to do? I don't like technical difficulties at all. I had one of myself earlier on today. We couldn't hear any of the video, any of the, or any of the audio. So, that was difficult earlier. As we look at this again, it's difficult to watch, like, the days add up, where we're down 20%, down 17, 13, because when it bleeds, it just bleeds real hard, right? And those are difficult to make up. We'll get into some sort of a bottom or a reversal here. Now, people want this. The big question is, are we going to take off to the upside? What I would say is I want us to get through the next, to the next level past, if we can, to the next level past the 61.8. Now, the 786 could catch. It could. The 61.8 could catch. It could. This next level would be a huge level to hit, right? If we can get there. Now, in terms of structuring your money, it becomes kind of easy now that you guys would think, maybe it does make sense for us to have more money towards the downside. Now it kind of makes sense. Everyone's kind of willing to say, okay, I do understand it's gotten serious. It could drop a lot more, right? That next level down is a big drop. Yes, it could, but we understand from the top levels on down that has always made sense. Then you don't get into a circumstance when you've lost like 40, 50% of your cash. Like, to make that move now is a move. It's not a comfortable one after you've lost the money, but we're trying to make money, guys. We're always talking like that. Now, just use this as use it as a reference point, because you understand now now we do need that backup cash if we fall through here. Yeah, now you understand that. We've been talking about having that backup cash for a long time. That's how important it has been the whole time. As important as it is right now, it's particularly obvious because you can kind of feel it, right? You can feel it now, right? And that's really important for you to understand in the context of things. That yes, now it seems to make more sense. Do understand the next time we're in a bull market, we'll get through some bears and bulls, guys. We'll get through them, right? There's a lot of different. A lot of different trading mechanisms that we can use in both, all right? We're just getting into this final level, and then we'll be able to essentially adjust. I'm looking forward to having days very soon where you guys, and soon, guys, maybe tomorrow, right, where you guys are definitely in the money, and we're having just shout-outs, and everybody is in the money in the group. That'll be my goal. Was it 2 days ago? I sent out just 2 days ago. I sent out notifications to everybody about a trade. And a lot of people got in on it, up to 20, 30, 40, 50% on the trade, right? So that's really fantastic. That's the kind of day I want to repeat tomorrow, or repeat in the next few days. Is everybody's informed about something. Everybody's excited. And it couldn't be more obvious to us or anybody else that, you guys are just like, you guys are like killing it. And that's what's fun, right? That's what, that's what makes the group exciting. We're not going to lose that. I want you to know that. Just watch. Give this a little bit of time. It may be interesting because the rest of the people, what'll be unfortunate is this, guys. You'll have to distinguish yourself, because The rest of the people are already thinking that you've gone through all of this. All right? We buy low, we sell high, guys. We hit pricing targets. This becomes kind of obvious, huh? We hit pricing targets at the different levels of Fibonacci, right? Yeah. We have the high. What do? We hit levels of the Fibonacci. First level of Fibonacci down here, essentially, right? Yeah, we hit that. What's the next one? We hit that one right here. All right. Then what? Well, we hit this one right here. You see where I'm going with it? Yeah. And then we hit one right here. This is just a stair step. Boom, 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 right? If it wants to catch here, it can. It seems like it's indicated that we're going to catch maybe another hit like this. That may have been the second hit along this level. It's going to be difficult to tell. If it falls through, guys, it's just been stepping down. Stepping down, down, stepping down, stepping down, just stepping down. It's not a big deal. Why? Because we like this level. We have orders waiting at this level. We're going to hit it with cash, and the move up is going to make a phenomenal amount of money. Okay, if it is a measured move in line with, sorry about that, if it's a measured move in line with this percentage here, right? That percentage at that level is only what? It's only about 50%. That's not bad. That was the trade we got into, right? Nice trade. Now, if we drop that down instead of 50%, now we're looking at potentially 100%. Now, that's a nice move, huh? That's a nice hit. Not to say necessarily exactly we'll hit that same degree of a move, the same height will be achieved. It's about indicated at the previous levels, right? It's got about that level of tolerance, maybe a bit less. Maybe I'll adjust that and get it to you guys. But understand, this may be a huge level. And I'm talking about what? I'm talking about resource levels of cash, heavier amounts of cash being deployed, which is going to do what? That's going to increase your profits. It's going to maximize your profits and decrease. It's going to minimize your risk. You see how the entirety of the whole, and not financial advice, I say do your own calculations. But it makes more sense because your demand for something is greater the lower the price goes. That's in line with economics and business principles. That just makes sense. That's an ordinary rational kind of, I'd say that fits in line with ordinary rational behavior, right? I like that. As this bounces down, you're putting more cash into levels where these moves, if there's kind of a tolerance here and it's going to move within a certain tolerance to the upside, where that's going to achieve you more of a percentage on heavier amounts of cash, and you plan that out, man, that's nice. That's nice. Because what's important, if one of these levels doesn't hit, that's what you want to understand, right? That's what you want to guard against, because at any point in time, this could have just fallen through at the top levels. The likelihood that this would fall through, it's just kind of like the bedrock. It's kind of like the key focal here. Just like this hit very well, your 61.8, like on the target, Pam. Yeah. We would anticipate you could have another hit here. You had to plan for that, but also you plan for the fall through. And this level right here, when I talk about just knocking it out of the park, this, I've been discussing, the theory goes. That's the heaviest level of investment. If people want to go all in on it, what's interesting and what's important is right now, if you were to go all in on it, it wouldn't make sense to write it down the whole way fully invested, right? Just a point of kind of, communication and consideration is that, it wouldn't make sense to write down completely if you were fully involved and to expect to profit off of this. It would make sense to maybe maintain a little bit of a position in case you went up, but to not be fully involved in it so that you could deploy that cash down here and you haven't lost the value of the cash in between the two levels. Because if you lose the value of the cash in between the two levels, if you were to go all the way back up here, you're just losing what you lost instead of making any money. We don't want you to just, kind of recover what you lost. We want you to actually be making money. That's just the idea. We meaning your friends, right? We meaning you, just that's it. We meaning us, right? The VIP crew. That's what we are looking for. It looks like Mittens, you're looking at joining, huh? I don't know what's going on. I can read in the chat for a minute. What are you looking at doing? What's going on? Let me read about what's going on with you. I think I've seen you around. Need to have the platform ready. All right, not sure what you got going on there. You're on Robinhood, Coinbase, Webull so far. That's good. You got some different platforms. That's good. Yeah, see that. Anthony's in the house. What's up? Different people just kind of checking in to say hello. David's been cool. He won a t-shirt. David's got the first VIP t-shirt. That's cool. We'll try and make it cool. Let me know what size you need. We'll chit-chat in the other deal. We might put hoorah on the back of it for you. That'd be cool, huh? VIP, hoorah. That'd be cool. We'll do something. We'll do something cool. We'll see what you want to strut around with. Something cool. Jeff Arnett's in the house. Nice to see you, Jeff. David Sweet. James Bond, of course. Lars, always very nice. Amor. We just had fun earlier on. You guys done well. Zachary is a member of the crew. So nice to see you guys welcome people, too. And I just want you guys to play like this, okay? I want you guys to think and play like you have the biggest potential trade of the year coming up, right? And that it could happen. I'll just say this. It'll be a good challenge to you. It could happen right here at the 61.8. It could take off from the 61.8. That's a key level. They may want to flirt around with this a few times, or it could happen at the level below. That's going to force you to do your math correctly and say, no, I have to triple down. This is my reserve cash at the level below. Below this level, the 78.6, there is another level that is the maximum. So if you're triple down here, you're 5x, 10x, something like that down here, believe it or not. Those are the guys who are going to make the millions, guys. The guys in and around, were it to ever go to 0.002, right? Because it just was there. The guys who deploy cash at that level, think about this. The guys that deploy cash at this level, if and when it reaches this level ever again, if it were to ever again reach that, those are the guys that are going to make millions and millions and millions of dollars. Okay? The rest of this stuff is fun. We're making 20, 30%. We're doing well. But acquiring at that lower level is a big deal. If we can accomplish that. Now, I'm not saying that it's an accomplishment just in the fact that the price would go down and you'd be able to buy it. Accomplishment to $1, heck yeah, that'd be an accomplishment. Accomplishment buying something that could go up to $1 in the next year and a half for 0.002 cents. Yeah, that's quite an accomplishment, right? So we're not going to dictate what it's going to do, what the price is ultimately going to do. We're not going to dictate it. We can't decide what it's going to do. Well, all we can do is play the market based on the probabilities and the kind of the computations we can throw in terms of maximizing our gains. So if it accomplishes the 78.6, that's fine right now. You guys understand, if I see this bleed out tomorrow and it just wants to pour down through it, I'll know, well, the VIPs are doing fine. They're about to make some money. If it goes up, I'll say that's good. They have some light exposure. They're going to, they're carrying forward a little bit of exposure on that. Maybe not everything. You're kind of in the middle of you're in the middle of trying to reverse, which you may be able to do with kind of a double bottom here. You may be able to try and do. This is a key level, the 61.8. That's the golden pocket. Maybe that is enough. Maybe that's going to kick things up to the upside. That can happen. If, as it looks, it's just been hitting upon it blew through the 23.6. It hit this 38.2. It blew through the 50 percentile, right? Then it blew down to the golden pocket, right? It kind of looks like it's just stepping down. So that is important for you to recognize that if this just bounces, it's kind of bounced at every level. If it chooses to bounce here again at the 61.8, that's fine. If it bounces at this 78.6, it's going to be a big percentage of your holdings, particularly and hopefully at a heavier level of investment. Now, do you see why I've structured this way the entire time, that now you potentially have your heavier investment for this lower level? And what kind of a move could it make? Well, it's a much bigger move percentage-wise, because the same move up here is a much bigger percentage down here. Can be almost twice, depending upon what you're, it could be more than that, right? So we'll talk about the details, but I just want you to understand kind of why we've been talking about, the different components, etc., and kind of what we're looking at in terms of the accomplishments. It's good. Be thinking about this is kind of the prime time. You guys have been preparing for a lot of things. Don't get bored. Don't get upset. Don't get, the whole market's down. I'm down. If you're down, we got to fix that. You got to be able to hit into this level, period. Some exposure is great, but you have to be able to deploy cash down here of what you have there. Otherwise, the strategy doesn't work. And I'm not telling people how to trade or what to do. I'm just saying computationally, from a computed standpoint, the solution to the profit theory involves you having more cash at lower levels to experience a greater percentage gain on an equivalent move that's going to occur just at a lower level, right? It just makes sense. And we're getting into those nuances just a little bit. So think good things. Believe that this is, and you'll see it, believe that this is going to be one of the biggest trading events that has happened for you guys. Now we've had 2X's, we've had 3X's, etc. But this is arguably at kind of the, at the lower levels, larger amounts of cash we've been discussing. That could be fun, huh? Yeah, we've been talking about this for a long time. I was like, yeah, we have been. We sure have been. Now you guys understand it in the context. It could be fun, huh? Yeah, it could be fun. It could be crucial if we can get there. Now talk about if we can get there, you understand, because there's a lot of money to be made there. Yeah, the same equivalent move is going to be on a percentage basis. Let's say that would be close to 100% if it would just move what it just moved to the top, this upper level. That'd be like a 100% move. That's a sweet move, right? If you're dealing with heavier amounts of cash, that could set you up like for a little bit of time, huh? I mean, that could set you up for a couple months. In terms of, at least it would definitely pay your VIP dues, right? You guys have paid that many times over. You've done okay, right? But yeah, it could be a nice move. It's gonna be up to you. You guys do your own research, make your own moves. Y'all, contact your broker, and your broker might have some great advice on Doge. I don't know. If we can kick up from this area, it'd be beautiful, because we've satisfied the golden pocket. Plan like you can't. Plan like you have to get the cash, or you're going to have that cash available for the lower levels. That's the key, because this move is going to be big, just by the nature of the fact that you're at a lower price, if you can get there. Because each unit of increase in price is going to give you a larger percentage on the same on the same level of a move, the same distance of a move, as it would at the higher level. As you move this same distance up, okay, essentially the same measured move, as that is brought up into different, let's say the different ranges, okay, the different price ranges as we go up, it's going to constitute less of the overall percentage of the price. If we stack this on top of, let's look at this, if we stack this on top of around the 75 cents, okay, that's about 18%. All right, well, that's not much. If we stack the same difference in price here at the 78.6%, at the 15.5 cent, you're at over 80%, well over 80%. You see that? That's a big difference, guys. And I've shortened it up just a bit here just to kind of talk through this. But so 20%, let's say 15 to 20% versus like 80 to 90%. So that's why I always recommend cash being, in addition to guarding against your being over-involved, overexposed at a higher price. Now you see the dynamic that it does make sense for you to have heavier amounts of cash to deploy at the lower level, because the same move, it could get you 80 to 100%. And the probability of it hitting is very high. The probability of this continuing to go up or continuing to do, maybe. It's you know, I'll say it's you're going to calculate it. Will you achieve like a high level of certainty? Maybe, right? Probably not. The probability of this hitting well at the 78.6, there's a high degree of probability, that it's going to hit. A high degree of probability it's going to hit. So this is one of the more kind of, like, I'd say, the mainstay plays that you're going to hit in a while if you can. I know it sounds weird to say if you can, but you're going to have, just in line with the demand curve, the price is lower, you're going to have more demand, right? Your demand down here, although it's counterintuitive, no one wants to buy in, right? When Bitcoin's at, when Dogecoin's at 75 cents, everyone wants to buy it. If it goes back down to 0.002, I knew that was going to, it's like no one wants to buy it. No, the demand curve says the lower the price, the greater the demand. We operate as rational actors, right? Rational market participants. We want more, okay? We want more at a lower price. We have more demand. We stack our cash down here, right? And that's at about the 15.5. We stack it particularly heavily around the 0.002, right? And those are the guys that are going to do well, or the guys that stack the cash in and around the 15.5 and probably triple to 5 exit down in this area to cover any upside exposure. If it were to blow through this level, it could just absolutely blow through that level, right? So that is where we are at. You guys have wanted to go through some different charts. We can do that. I'd say, tomorrow let's go through some charts. I'm just happy that we talked about this triangulation right before, we're seeing a big pour out here. We talked about the breakthrough of the triangulation last night. You guys were prepared for what happened today. Like, I hope you cut the ripcord, right? And just let that let the thing, maybe you cut the ripcord of the price action. Just let that thing fall down. That's okay. Just, cut the cord. Just let it fall down. When it was down 20 or 30%, essentially the whole market looked like this earlier today. I'm not worried at all. Like, I know VIP, they understand it. Like, you guys, we've talked about this, right? Absolutely. You're not heavily involved right now. Like, if you are, there's a salvage routine that's like in the works right now, and which involves you, like, compromising that, being less involved, and being prepared to deploy at this level, to engage at this level at a higher percentage than what you're involved in right there. Why would you carry down the price 43%? Why would you carry down price 43% to try and make, literally, to try and make 84% up? Do you understand the difference between the 28 cents and the 15 cents is 43% loss? If you recovered all of that, you'd have to gain 80+% to recover that amount. Right? So that's a big question as to why would you want to ride this down, lose 40%, just to be told and just to understand you have to make you have to have an 80% day to fix that? That's a lot, guys. That's a lot. Does that register with you? If you're to fall through this zone right here from the 618 to the 78.6, you're going to lose 40+%. To make that up, you have to have a run of 80%. That's a lot, guys. That's a big, big move to try and recover. I would think it would make sense not to be included in that, the entirety of that drop. I would rather not be involved in that at all, right? I would rather maybe a small interest up here, just in case we were to kick to the upside, right? To experience that. But I'd say triple to 5x down at this lower level. So mathematically, I'm covering my upside exposure. right? Yeah. So mathematically, if I'm more heavily involved at the lower level, then I am possibly, at this higher level, I'm covering that. My profit equation looks very good because I haven't lost 40%. I don't have to make up 80% just to cover the 40%. That starts to seem unreasonable, doesn't it? It really does. But if I've, let's say I have a small, just enough in here, just something to where if it goes up, that's fine, and I can catch it back on the trend. That's the deal, right? I can catch it back on the trend once it reestablishes itself into an upward trend. There's no problem with that. You see, that's real easy. But right now it's in this flux, and it's been dropping down to different levels, right? It's been dropping down. It's achieved the second level down, the third level down, the fourth level down, we're just thinking maybe the fifth level down, right? It's just, that's the pattern of what it's been doing. It's been guided by some issues with Bitcoin, etc. That's just the truth. So why would I fight the trend right now? Why would I step in and want to buck the trend and say, well, I know you've hit every single other Fibonacci level, but you're not going to hit this one. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to buy more right now. Why would you do something like that? Don't buck the trend. Expect it to go here. If it surprises, fantastic. That's great. But don't buck the trend. The trend is going down. Okay, from the second, it goes down to the second level, the third level, the fourth level, the fifth level. Don't buck the trend. If it breaks through here, how are you going to profit? Why do you need to lose 40% of the value of your holdings here? 40% you're going to lose. And then you have to make up 80% to get back there? Do you know how unreasonable that sounds? Because that's a big move. You can do it. It can happen. That may happen frequently, okay, in this last level. But you're kind of in uncharted territory, too, because the last time this M pattern formation, this occurred, you kind of just, on the line at least, you didn't make it down to the 7-8. So this is kind of like new territory. Bitcoin's like really falling through the floor, right? It's having some pricing. It's having some difficulties. So I would just, I would look forward to being able to engage cash, heavy amounts of cash at this level, and not writing this down to have to make an 80% profit for the hope of me breaking even to where I'm at right now, to not even breaking even to where we're at right now. That's a lot to ask. Now, sure, the price, it has a lot of different issues. I mean, positive issues. I'll say a lot of positive, what should we say? It has a lot of different, there are days, and weeks when DOGE just performs phenomenally well, right? So not issues, I would say, but there are events, there are circumstances, during which it's been phenomenal, right? It's been very exciting. So that's been nice to experience. It's just while we're going down into like a severe retracement in this, and it's obvious that it's hit down to the second level, the third level, the fourth level as it goes down, and it provides opportunities to trade on every single level. You're capable of making money at the second level, at the third level, at the fourth level, and potentially at the fifth level. Yeah, I would say every other level is hit, right? So, I look forward to you guys telling me stories in the next few days that, essentially you're going to just slam dunk this bottom level, and you're going to have triple to maybe 5x. I don't know if 10x. I don't know what your equation is, but you're going to have more money available for these bottom levels. If you love Dogecoin, hey, that's the way to do it. If you love Bitcoin, that's the way to do it. Like Ethereum in 2018 lost 95% of its value. 95%, yeah. Okay, so that's a big deal. If we can pick up Dogecoin or Bitcoin or something like that at 95% discount, why don't we plan for that? Right? Why don't we just plan for that? Why don't we plan, just since it's in this retracement and we don't want to buck the trend, why don't we plan for picking up Doge and Bitcoin and everything else at a 99% discount? Why don't we see if we can? Why don't we at least maybe hold on to some cash and say, I'm going to tuck this over here, this cash over here, just in case I can. Right? I think those guys are probably the ones who picked it up in 2018. I think they made really good money like drastically good money up through the next cycle. Whatever does occur, if the cycle is coming to kind of an end, we'll still be able to trade as it rebuilds into the next cycle. I know we will. Right? And people won't understand, well, it's all gone down. We make money when it goes down. We hit pricing targets. Every one of these is a pricing target. We hit it on Bitcoin. We'll hit it on anything, guys. We can hit it on any stock, any commodity. It's just it's the way that we're able to operate. So this next level is going to be key. Get ready to deploy cash, right? That's what the strategy would say, because you have a better chance of doing well. The statistic, I'd say that the calculations, or the calculative kind of approach, is that you have statistically there's a higher probability for you to achieve a greater gain at this level because you're at a lower price. So the same movement is going to get you a greater percentage profit on your trade. It doesn't sound like much, but if you move the same amount up at, say, if you add $1 onto $20, it's like 5%. If you add $1 onto $1, that's like 100%. You see, that's the whole idea of essentially where we're going. And there's just the need for backup reserve cash while things are going down. And I don't want to see people lose. I don't like hearing people say, well, I'm too involved at the higher level. So if I could explain it 8 ways from Sunday, that's kind of what, that's just what I kind of look at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get back to work for the VIPs and for you base campers. I'm really glad that you base campers are around, and that definitely you VIPs, community leader, etc. That I think you're there mentally, that you understand why we need to do this greater amount of cash at the lower levels. We're so close now; it makes sense. It's made that much sense the whole time. All right, now we've learned that. Now we all know that. So let's get. I'm gonna head back over. Probably take some sinus medicine. Just I don't know. I don't know. It's too much pollution outside or something. But what I'll do is I will talk to you guys in the DM and around there. I'm not worried about you guys at all. Look at this. And what's nice is I'm really not worried about you, because with a lot of traders that I hang out with, some guys trade very heavily. Some smart dudes, right? But I see days like this and I'm worried about them, right? I'm not worried about you guys. I know you're doing well. That's nice, huh? That's really nice. You guys wanted me to look at Matic. All right. See, I see the price going down. I get excited for you guys. You guys know that, right? Like, yeah. Look at that, huh? That's going to be beautiful. So that took a stutter step. It wants to hit that dollar. What is that? About the $1.11? I'd say, huh? Wants to hit that $1.11. Yep. We have this. You have all these figures, brother. You have everything you need on Matic to be wonderfully, wonderfully profitable. Yeah, you really do. And yeah, you just do. It's breaking down through that 50% retracement, and it's just nice to see, right? It's just nice to see. And yeah, right now as that's coming down, I know it's coming down to pick up orders, right? Phenomenal. Very well done. I do want to look at the interim Fibonacci. David shouting out, nice to see you again. I think I may have lost those sounds on the special effects. It's okay. It's kind of peaceful. Huh? Those are big sounds. Huh? It's okay. It's cool. It's like sports programming. Let's look here. What do we get into on this one? Yeah, we essentially got into that, didn't we? I remember that. I don't anticipate that's going to hit. He'll pick you up. Let me see this. Oh, yeah, he'll pick you up. I wouldn't worry about that at all. Let me see. Let me make sure. Yeah. 618. All right. Yeah, brother, that next level right here, stacking that heavy, I mean, it's going to be interesting. A lot of people are going to want to hit this on Matic because the price actions have been phenomenal, hasn't it? Yeah, you're going to want to hit this. Shout out to David again. He's the group communicator, huh? He just really is. Huh? Excuse me. So, as we look at this, you guys are barreling down towards your pricing target, right? You know you are. You like that. You want to hit that. I'm excited for you. I hope this all lights up red, and I mean seriously red, right? Like the more red it gets, I don't worry about you guys at all. Isn't that cool? You guys don't worry about each other either, do you? I mean, and sometimes you can worry about people. It's like, well, they're not doing good, this and that, right? It's like, no. This is, this is a big deal for us to look at things and understand, like the trading group, because we could worry about the trading group. I mean, you guys are traders. We're in a group, right? Hello. We're not worried about each other. We understand the ball game. Everyone's like, yeah, we do. You know how few people understand the ball game? Some people are leveraged out heavily on options right now. That's not a good idea. You get washed out, etc. We understand kind of some good dynamics in terms of where things are heading, and I think it's just it's really positive. You know, we'll see if there's any kind of hiccup, if there's any kind of a unexpected move, etc. Let's look at how much that's not much to get down there. It's an additional like 17% on Matic to get down to that level. I think it can get down there. Let's look at, let me look at how far it's down so far. Let's see. Matic. Now, I had a thought earlier today. I wanted to bring it up to you guys. Is you're going to feel differently making money this way than you would out of hype. This is probably more consistent. I would proffer consistent in terms of a way to approach how you should feel when you're making money. It's more calculated. It's more you're dealing with statistics and probabilities. You're dealing with more of a leveled approach than you are in the midst of a bull run and just hoping and it's going and hoping and it's now we're dealing with a pricing target. There's much more of a measured component to it. It's just very nice. So enjoy that. As you look at your pricing targets getting hit, notice the difference. Notice how you feel differently. Okay? The difference between your essentially watching a market that's bleeding down into your pricing target, right? It's coming to get you, right? And it's a good thing. It feels differently. You know it's going to hit. You know you're probably going to make money on it. But you're going against the grain of the market. Not everyone's doing this. The guys who know what they're doing in the market, they're doing this. So you're doing this. So enjoy that component. And just notice the difference, the kind of the ebb and flow. Because it's very nice when things are going up a lot, right? You just can't stop it. It's unstoppable. The retracement is a strong, what do you say? It's a very strong, component of money making in the market. If this wants to pivot right now and wants to try and go up and save the day and turn it into something amazing, it can. Do you have any exposure here? You can. You can have a light exposure. Before it reverses its trend, I wouldn't think that it would be smart. I don't think it would be smart to have that level, let's say a level of high exposure. I don't think that would be smart. Let me go ahead and look. It looks like we have a new member. Let me see what we have. YouTube.com. What do we got? I think I can pull the information up. Let me bring up kind of my back door here. Dun. What do we got? All right. I've got to pull this information up so I can discuss who we have join. That's nice. Let me see on here. Okay, I'm on a side screen. Let me see what I got. All right. Daryl Hall has joined Basecamp. Congratulations, Daryl. We want to plug you in. You'll see the Twitter handle on the bottom. Go ahead and you'll have to type into the search box, go to, and it'll be the kingdom. So welcome. You're amidst some really good people. We hope that you will eventually also join the VIP. All right. We developed on Dogecoin. We developed the what the nature of base camp. When? Let me show you when we developed it. We just developed it in a time period where it was kind of questionable, right? If we were going to go up, and we said, yeah, we're going to go up. So we developed that base camp here. All right, kind of early May. We went up, so it was really nice. Now we're gonna, the goal is definitely that we're going to be able to profit when the market's going down. So that's what we're focused on right now. We're not worried about it going down in price. That doesn't bother us at all. In fact, it's coming towards our pricing targets. Yeah, so that's not concerning for us right now. That's okay. That's just okay. Dogecoin looks like it's holding up relatively well. It's going to get to that 28-cent mark again and probably play off that 28-cent mark, right? You can always be more aggressive or more conservative with what you choose to do. As soon as it hits that mark, it should get some price action to the upside. A lot of people are going to play that. People who know what they're doing in the market are going to play that level. So yeah, that is good. Let's see what we have on anything else. All of these that are going down, I'm not worried about any one here because you understand they're just coming down to our pricing targets. This is the nature of kind of this retracement that we're in. Okay, they're going to call it a bear market. Well, that's fine. We'll establish different components and different ways of working with the price action other than just waiting for something to come to us. But it's like, the money is coming to you literally, right? You're not having to chase it and figure it out and push up on a bull market and this and that. Well, how much further will it go? When do I get out? This is just nice. This is like the money's coming straight towards you. All you have to do is, here's my limit order. I want to buy so many. I want to buy this amount, this quantity at this price. Limit order, very easy. Executes. You want 10%? You want 15? You want 20? You want to watch it? You want maybe 30, 40? 50? What do you want? This move right here already was 50%. It's a nice move. It's going to hit that level again. Maybe not as hard or maybe harder, right? But you're going to have to watch that price action. And so you want to watch that price action unless you have just predetermined you just want 10% or whatnot, right? So heavier weight on the downside, right? These next two levels below this 618, the golden pocket, the next two levels have more cash waiting, multiples of more cash waiting than whatever your level of involvement should be at that top level, okay? That's just to preserve cash on the downside, right? That's just, that's the demand curve. So, thank you. Ready to learn and earn. Cool, Daryl. We'd love you to be part of the VIP. A lot of great guys. I don't know what your background is trading. A lot of professional dudes and some just, guys that want to learn. So, yeah, feel it out here, and we're happy to have you. And, yeah, I'm glad you have a badge next to your name. Thanks for joining and showing us that you care about the community enough to put a badge next to your name, because that's important to us that people do that. It just shows us that people belong. I don't know, it's just such a small amount to join the base camp, and the VIPs are so heavily involved. It's just, we have we have that kind of strong standard for them. We try and have a stronger standard for everybody. I'll say that. So let's see. David says the Doge is gaining on BTC. Yeah. Ready to earn. Okay, great. So it looks like everything's going well, and yeah, I do too. He loves Matic frequency. It's nice, isn't it, Bond? It's just beautiful. I'm with you. We've made a lot of money on Matic, right? It's been ridiculous. So it's gone in the history books, Bond. What I would say is, guys, I'm going to get off and I'm going to do some work for the, if you can hit the like button, that'd be great. We appreciate all the new members, and, I need to redo the, let's see, we're at still, I think, 84. So I will redo that count. We don't count the new members in terms of them becoming VIPs if they're not, but for some reason the ticker, it will add to them. We had a few, what did we have, 3 or 4 yesterday. We're going to have another big day as soon as we hit our pricing targets. I want you guys to know that. We're going to have a big day when we hit those pricing targets. Let's see, member 100 goal, and I want to put 84, and then 06. Let's see what we got. 0601. There we go, 2001. All right, so I will get that number back. Just 2001. There we go. 2021. Looking at the wrong thing. There we go. 2000. Obviously, Space Odyssey. There we go. We'll try and get it. Why don't we put a Why don't we put a rocket on this thing since we've done that? Just some humor, work with the evening. I'm a little tired too. It's okay. I know you guys are too. Like, yeah, we get a little tired. We got to step it up every now and then. But we're going to put a rocket launch. Rocket ready. Let's put rocket ready on this. Sorry for the banner on the top and everything else. We're going to put rocket ready. All right. Now, it's either going to be at this level right here, or it's going to be at this level right here. You guys just understand that rocket is on standby, and there's going to be a little bit of a rocket situation. I'll just tell you. All right. It's going to be either here, maybe a little earlier. Maybe you have some exposure to it already. But it's going to be either here, or it's going to be right here. This, again, if it hits again, will probably generate some positive price action. The lower level, if we can get there, will probably be an amazing trade. If you like an amazing trade, you'll look back at that one like, well, it was a nice trade. Different than this huge escalation in price, but it still could be the increased gain here, along with the increased gain here, could be phenomenally as impressive almost as some of this action. So just be prepared. We make money when it goes down, but we make money when it goes up. So this is just this time period when it wants to do this. And it's okay. It's good. Watch out. Watch how well we do. You guys just keep watching. Just watch how well we do. I appreciate you putting up with the technical difficulty in the first round of the video tonight, and I'll get all those issues hammered out. I'll make sure that I get through some of those tonight, and then I really redo. I want to look back at the pricing targets that we have. I was glad that yesterday I brought you that video. I just wasn't worried today when I saw all the red everywhere. It's like, yeah, that's fine. There's no problem. It's just going down to the pricing targets. They're not, the guys in the group are not over, and the girls are not overexposed right now. I'm not worried at all. That is such a good feeling to watch things like that happen. I don't have to worry about you guys losing cash, losing your money. You know how awesome that is for me? That is so huge. That is just huge. And it's nice for you also with each other to not have to worry about each other like that. What a bravo, because that's very much the exception. So congratulations on kind of all your hard work, and it is paying off. It's going to pay off. Watch these levels hit, and it should be a really good time. I will talk to you guys here in a little bit in the DM. We'll get in there, and yeah, just thanks for putting up with a good stream amidst the technical indicators. You guys get some good sleep, get some good food, and take care and invest in those relationships that you knew were important before you started really investing in the market, okay? This is London with the Crypto Kingdom. You guys be great, and we will chat with you soon. Looking forward to these trades. They are up and coming. We will talk to you later, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.